Welcome to our intro on Webflow. Well, we should learn about what Webflow is. Webflow is a powerful web design and development platform that allows you to create responsive and visually stunning websites without needing to write code. It combines the flexibility of traditional web development with the ease of use of a visual website builder. In this course introduction, we'll explore the key feature and concepts of Webflow to help to get started on your journey to designing and building websites with this platform. Now, let's learn what we're going to learn in this course or the course outline. Introduction to Webflow. What is Webflow? Why use Webflow for web design and development? Key benefits and features of Webflow. 2. Getting started. Setting up a Webflow account, navigating the Webflow dashboard, creating your first project. 3. Webflow basics. Understanding the Webflow interface, working with the canvas and elements, adding and arranging elements on the page. Then we're going to learn about styling and designing, why using the Webflow designer for visual styling, working with typography, colors, and gradients, creating custom layouts with Flexbox and Grid, CMS and dynamic content, introduction to Webflow CMS content management system, creating dynamic content collections, designing dynamic templates, and Webflow best practices. In this course, you will get a couple of class projects so that you can work on Webflow and keep on practicing with it and get to know all about the basics. Tips for efficient design and development, SEO optimization in Webflow, and collaboration and team workflow. So by the end of this course, you will gain hands-on experience with Webflow and work on practical exercises to reinforce your learning. By the end of this course, you should be confident in using Webflow to create visually appealing, responsive websites and have a solid foundation to explore more advanced topics in web designing and development. So without any further ado, let's just hop on to our first lesson of Webflow. Welcome to our first lesson of Webflow. In this lesson, we are going to learn about how we can open up Webflow in our website and start making our first web page. First off, what you're going to do is going to be opening up any of the web browser which you have on your PC. Then go to your search bar and search for Webflow. You'll find out it to be on the first one. Click on this website and you will see an interface like this. Click on this Get Started to start up your Webflow. Next thing what you're going to do is going to be sign up with Google, or if you have a work email address, you can enter it right over here and click on Continue. So what I'm going to do here is going to be sign it up with my Google. So click on Sign with Google, and then you are going to fill up your credentials and just click on OK or Continue, and then you will see that it has been connected with your Google account. After you connect your account to Webflow, you will see that Webflow will show you an interface like this. You're going to put in your first name and your last name, and then just click on Continue, and then you will see what you want to build websites for. If it's for clients, click on Clients. If it's for your company, just click on your company. But if you want it to be private, just click on Myself. So I'm going to click on this Myself and click on Continue. And you can fill up these pages and also the criteria. I'm going to press on Yes and select the first ones. Let's say I'm going to build up a business site or even an e-commerce site. Just click on any one of them according to your need and click on Finish, and you are good to go with Webflow. Now you will see that it will start rendering up your page. After your account has been all set, you will find out these tabs called Dashboard, Marketplace, Learn, and Resources. Well, the first thing what we're going to do to make a first web page is going to be going on our dashboard and create a new site? Well, you can see that there are a couple of these templates which you can use. So a couple of them are free, and you will also find a couple of premium ones which you have to basically buy them. But we're going to start off with our blank site. So whichever one you want to use, just click on any of them. So I'm going to prefer using our blank site. So I'm going to click on select. And the first thing that you're going to do is going to be naming your site name. So let's say I'm going to do is e-commerce. Click on it and press on create site. It will take a while for it to be rendered and also made. Then you are going to start customizing your web page according to your desire. This is how Webflow actually looks like. You can see that there are a couple of these tools which you can use to customize your web page. First thing what you're going to do is going to be adding in a layout, just like you do in different software such as, let's say, PowerPoint. You add in a layout and then start adding in your contents inside your web page. So first thing what we're going to do is going to be clicking on add layout, or you can also see it on the left side of our panel. We have the structure option. You can select on whichever structure you want so that it will be applied on this page. But you can also click on this add layout, and then you will find out a couple of these options according to the category has appeared up as a pop-up. So here, according to desire, select the one you need. Let's say I'm going to use is gallery or maybe featured. Then I'm going to do is select whichever one I want. Let's say I'm going to use this features table. Click on this features table and you can see it has been directly applied to your page with the data. So you don't have to worry about the data because you can remove them and add in your own content. So first thing I'm going to do is change in the heading. So I'm going to click on this, double click, and you will see your cursor over there, and then type in your own headline. Let's say I'm going to type in e-commerce site. Press on enter. Now you have your own headline. You can also change in this option. Let's say I'm going to cut this off again. And after I cut this off, I'm going to type in my own content. Let's say I'm going to type in this website is for making your marketing. Let me cut this off. More easy. Now we are done with our headlines and also our centered subheading. Now what you're going to do is you can also align it according to your desire, but I'm going to do is just cut this off and click on add elements. If you want to add in more elements to your layout, you can do that. Click on add elements, or you also have the shortcut key assigned to A. So click on A and you will find the same element tab when you click on A. Then what we're going to do is going to be clicking on this one, which is our comparison row main. And you also have this title on each side. You can also cut this off. What you're going to do is double click on it. And if you triple click, you will see that it works basically the same way it works on word processing softwares. So I'm going to do is type in this heading, let's say saving. And on this side, I'm going to type in, let's say, loss. Or maybe type in advantage or disadvantage. I'm going to type in this one. Now we are done with our top page. You can see that all of the contents you apply in your layout will appear up on this navigator. So you can also select specific elements by clicking on this body or the navigator. So let's say I'm going to do is click on this container, and you will see that it will select the specific elements out of your layout. Let's say I'm going to click on container. This is the container. Then we have is their centered heading, which is e-commerce site. So I'm going to click on this and you will see that it has been selected. And you can also change whatever you want by clicking on this. Let's say you have very small elements which you find hard to select with your mouse, but you don't have to worry because the navigator helps you in that purpose. What you can do is just select whichever one you want because all of the elements are different. So you can just select on them and then you will find out that all of the elements have been selected. You can also edit it by right-clicking it and also changing whatever you want. Let's say back and forth. You can also save it up and send to other devices. That is how basically Webflow works, because Webflow has a lot of functionality which we're going to open up one by one, step by step through each chapter. When you first open up Webflow, you will find out a panel like this appears up, which is getting started. You can also follow these up, which will make your work a lot more easier. Let's say create a site, which we already created. Then what you're going to do is create a layout, which has also been done. You can mark it up so that it has been done, and you will see that what you did on your layout or on your web page. You can also add spaces, create reusable styles with classes, connect your site to dynamic data, and get help with video tutorials, and publish your site, which is going to be at the end of this course. Now, the first thing what we're going to do is going to be minimizing this part, and we're going to align our elements according to our need. As you can see that we have our titles on the left side, but if I want it to be on the center, what I'm going to do is click on it, and then you have all of the tools over here. You can see this is cross, which is auto, which is going to be always on the left side. What we have is center, or which is also called start. Then we have is this one, and we have the end, and at the right corner we have stretch. So I'm going to click on this content or element. Then I'm going to click on center. When I click on center, you will see that all of the data will go directly to the center of this box. But even if it doesn't work, what you're going to do is drag it up. Okay, so there are different methods of doing the same work. So let me show it to you. You can drag it up just like this. You can see this extender. Just click on it, triple click, and then you have other options too. But what I'm going to do is just click on this again, and you can see that it will turn directly to the center. As you can see that it is in the center. So I'm going to do is click on this one too, and click on center, and you can see all of them has now been aligned in the center. But what about these? We can do the same thing with these two. So I'm going to do is click on each and every one of them. But if you want to select all of them together, what you're going to do is open up your navigation bar, which you have over here. Navigator, click on it. I'm going to do is select on this or click on this option. You will find out your navigator. And when you click on your navigator, you will find out all of the elements in your layout. And click on each and every one, double click, and select on the center. So let me just select all of it and keep it at the center. We're going to do is go up and justify it to be at the center. I'm going to click on this one too, center. Well, this is basically how it works, but you cannot select with your cursor, okay, with the whole thing. So I'm going to do is click on control, double click, click, select. This is how you basically do it. Center, center. So basically you don't have to select the text all of the time. Even if you select the specific box or what you call as the element, it will also work the same way because all of the data or all of the text inside of the element. So this is basically how Webflow works for basics. So I'm going to do is select on the last one and keep it at the center. I'm going to do the same thing on these ones. Click, center. And do the same thing over here, center. And this one. After you're done, what you're going to do is click on this navigator, and you will see all of the elements and all of the data that you put inside your element box. So you can also select them just like this and also delete them if you want to. You can just click on them, press on delete, and you will find out that your element has been removed from your layout. So hope you understood everything about the first lesson on how you'll be able to add in layouts to your web page. So let's move on to our next lesson of Webflow, where we are going to learn more about elements, pages, and about our navigator. Welcome to our introduction part of this course on Webflow. We already know what Webflow is. So now what we're going to learn about is why to use Webflow for web design and development. So there are going to be a couple of points which we're going to cover up and make you understand. So without any further ado, let's just tell you why people use Webflow for web design and development. First off, there is no coding required. Webflow allows you to design and build websites visually without the need to write HTML, CSS, and JavaScript done. This makes it accessible to designers and entrepreneurs who may not have a strong coding background. Full creative control. Webflow provides a high level of creative freedom. You can design and customize every aspect of your website, from layouts and animation to typography and colors. This level of control is especially useful for creating unique and visually appealing designs. Then, responsive design. Webflow makes it easy to create responsive websites that adapt to various screen sizes and devices. You can set breakpoints and customize designs for different screens, resolutions, ensuring a consistent user experience across platforms. Interactions and animations. Webflow's interactions and animation tools allow you to add dynamic and engaging elements to your website without writing code. This is essential for creating modern and user-friendly web experience. Content Management System, CMS. Webflow offers a built-in CMS that enables you to manage and display dynamic content on your site. This is particularly useful for blogs, portfolios, and websites that require frequent content updates. E-commerce capabilities. If you need to build an online store, Webflow provides e-commerce features that allow you to sell products and manage inventory directly on your website. Hosting and development. Webflow offers hosting service, making it easy to publish your website with just a few clicks. You can also connect custom domains and benefit from Webflow's Content Delivery Network, CDN, for fast loading times. Collaboration and teamwork. Webflow supports collaboration among team members, making it suitable for agencies and team working on web projects. Multiple users can work on the same project simultaneously, and you can manage roles and permissions. Client-friendly. Webflow's client handoff features can make it easy to transfer a finished project to clients and provide them with a user-friendly content management system for updates and maintenance. Overall, Webflow strikes a balance between the ease of use of traditional website builders and the flexibility of coding, making it an attractive choice for individuals and teams looking for creating beautiful and functional websites without the constraints of conventional website builders. Now, let's learn about the key benefits and features of using Webflow. Visual web design. Webflow provides a visual web design interface that allows you to design and lay out your website visually. You can drag and drop elements, create complex layouts, and see your changes in real time. Responsive design. Webflow makes it easier to create responsive websites that adapt to different screen sizes and devices. You can set breakpoints and customize designs for various viewports. Customizable interactions. Webflow's interactions and animation tools let you create dynamic and interactive elements without writing code. You can add animation, scroll-based interaction, and more to enhance the user experience. Content Management System, or also known as CMS in short. Webflow includes a built-in CMS that allows you to create, manage, and display dynamic content. This is particularly useful for blogs, portfolios, and websites that frequently update content. E-commerce. Webflow offers an e-commerce compatibilities or capabilities, enabling you to create online stores, add products, manage inventory, and process payments directly on your website. No code or code options. Webflow caters to both no-code and code-savvy users. You can design and build websites entirely visually, or you can incorporate custom code when needed, giving you flexibility and control. Webflow hosting. Webflow provides hosting service allowing you to publish your website with ease. You can connect custom domain, set up SSL certificates, and benefit from fast content delivery via a content delivery network, CDN. Collaboration. Webflow supports collaboration among team members. Multiple users can work on the same project simultaneously and can set different roles and permission. SEO friendly. Webflow offers SEO tools, which is search engine optimization, and settings to optimize your website for search engines. You can customize meta tags, create XML, sitemaps, and set up clean and SEO-friendly URLs. Client handoff. Webflow makes it easy to hand off finished projects to clients. You can provide clients with a user-friendly CMS for content updates and maintenance. Templates and components. Webflow offers a library of templates and pre-designed components that you can use as starting points for your projects. This speeds up development and provides design inspirations. Form Builder. Webflow's Form Builder allows you to create and customize forms easily. You can connect or collect data from users, set up form submissions, and integrate with third-party tools. Now, community and learning resources. Webflow has an active community and provides extensive learning resources, including tutorials, forums, webinars, and a university with courses on web design and development. Real-time preview. You can see your changes in real time as you design your website, which makes the design process more efficient. Advanced hosting option. Webflow offers advanced hosting features such as password protection for specific pages, A or B testing, and custom 404 error pages. Webflow University. Webflow offers a comprehensive educational platform called Webflow University, which provides step-by-step guides and tutorials to help users learn and master the platform. These benefits and features make Webflow a versatile and powerful platform for web designers, developers, agencies, and business looking for creating visually appealing, responsive, and interactive website with varying degree of complexity. So you know all about Webflow, its advantages, and its key features. So without any further ado, I hope to see you in my first lesson of Webflow, how to open up Webflow, about the interface and all. And let's just hop into that lesson. Welcome to our second lesson on Webflow. Just like I said, in this lesson, we are going to learn about the elements or the Elementor bar, and also about the Navigator bar, because they contain a lot of elements which you can fiddle with. So first thing what we're gonna do is open up our Webflow on any of our web browser. You can either use Google Chrome, you have Mozilla, you have others such as Opera, and even Microsoft Edge. So as it is a website-based software, or maybe even say website-based software, so you can open up in almost all type of websites, or maybe even say web browsers. So the first thing what we're going to do is going to be clicking on dashboard and all sites. So when you click on all sites, you can see the previous, let's say our website, which we started and named it to be Ecommerce. You can see it is right over here. So you don't have to worry about losing any of your data or any of your progress, because it is being saved online. And even if you get out, or let's say if you're just having power shortage and your PC shuts down, or maybe your laptops runs out of battery and it just just shuts down, but you don't have to worry because the progress is being saved online. And as it works online, that means you should have an internet connection all the time. So the first thing what we're going to do is going to be clicking on this open designer. We're going to open up the previous site which we built. So I'm going to click on open designer, and later on in this course I'm going to be showing you all about these tabs and how these actually function. Then we're going to learn about marketplace, learn, and resources. You can also open up a new site by clicking on this new site, or you can right click over here. Okay, in Mac OS, when you right click, you can open up another site over here by clicking on new site. So I'm going to click on this open designer, and when I click on open designer, you can see that it is being loaded just like this. And after a while, it's going to open up our website or our web page on our screen. Now you can see all of the changes or customizations we did previously in our first lesson. So the first thing what you're going to learn about is this add elements, and also we're going to learn about pages and also about Navigator. So all of them have assigned shortcut keys from your keyboard. You can see right beside add elements there is A, right beside pages there's P, and right beside Navigator there is Z. Thus, we're going to try all of them. Let's press in A. You can see elements have opened up. Now, for page, we're going to type in P. You can see P, or the pages, have opened up. And for Navigator, we're going to type in Z. See, this helps you a lot in a lot of ways, okay? And makes your work a lot more easier. And the first thing what we're going to learn about is going to be our elements. So let's type in A. And you can see that there are a lot of things which you will find over here. And you will find that most of the stuffs are basically free, okay? But if you click on layout, you'll be able to select your layout too. But there are only 4 layouts which you can use by using the free Webflow on your site. But if you buy a couple of layouts, you can also do that by going through Marketplace, okay? And also buy them, so that you'll be able to use it and get a more premium finish, or maybe a more premium, look to your web browser or maybe your website which you're making. And the first thing we're going to do is going to be adding in our elements. So you can see that all of them are categorized according to their category. Okay, you can see there's others, there's advanced, there's forms, media, typography, CMS, there's basic, and there's structure. So let's put some of them from each category. Let's say first thing I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this part, or maybe adding in this part. So let's click on this and type in section. It cannot be nested inside each other. So what we're going to do is going to be adding in our body. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this and pressing on delete. So I'm going to do is click on this option. I'm going to do is add elements and click on section. And as you can see, section elements cannot be nested inside each other. So first thing I'm going to do is going to be removing all of this so that I get a completely clear page. Now I'm going to click on this and I'm going to add the element and click on section. Now you can see that it is still telling me the section cannot be done like this in nested ones. So you can see this is the body and this is the features table. I'm going to do is put in our section. You can see the section has been added, and you can see the elements can only be added the body, not over here. Okay, the features table, you can see it is over here. You can add in more features table if you want to. You can go through navigation and add in whichever one you want. Let's say I want maybe logos this time. I'm going to click on this, and you can see all the logos section or the logos element has been added. You can click on this again, and you can go through each and every one and find out the ones according to your desire, and then apply it according to your need. You can also click on add element, and let's say I'm going to do is quick stack. You can see a quick stack has been added. So it just goes step by step. Okay, it's just gonna go from the top to the bottom however you add it. Now you can see that there is a preset of each and every element you apply. You can see you can apply columns, you can also apply rows, and you can also apply grids according to your need. Let's say if I want it like this, I'm going to just click on this. And you can see 4 of them has been added. If I add up more, you will see there will be more columns. And if I add in this, there will be more rows. But as I want one, and I'm going to do is keep it something like this. And if I want just a blank one, I can just click on this one. But if I want to is like plus, like press on this plus, and you can see more of them will be added, and it is quite simple to do. Okay, now what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this one. I'm going to click on this cross, and you can see it has been applied just the way I wanted it to be. You can also see the spacings and all of these layouts, but we're going to go through them later on. Now let's show you a couple more of these elements. I'm going to click on elements. Let's say I'm going to do this list item. You can see elements must be added in cells. So I'm going to click on the cell. I'm going to do is press on this, and I'm going to add on list. You can see the list has been added. So most of the time you see that there are a couple of these elements, but the elements can be applied or added in a specific cell or maybe a specific spacing. As you've seen that when I tried to put in my section or features table in my page, it could not be added because it was the nested cell. So I had to remove everything, and then I had to apply it on my body of this layout, and thus it was added, right? So I'm going to click on this again as we're done with basic. Let's try a bit of typography. What I'm going to do is type in text link. You can see the text link has been added. So this basically is kind of like the hyperlink. You can add in your link, just copy and paste. You can just paste in the URL over here, but we're going to go through them later on because we're going to need it later. But let me just show you how you'll be able to apply and how those basically work. You can see text blocks, block quote, and we have is collection list. So I'm going to click on collection list, and you can see all of them are in a collection. Okay, I'm going to click on this plus again. And you have images. If you want to add an image, click on this image. If you want to add in video, you can add in video. And you also have YouTube videos. You can apply YouTube videos. Okay, let's say I'm going to click on over here and apply in plus, and then let's go to YouTube. You can see you will be able to apply in a YouTube video. Let's go to some website and see how it works. Let's say I'm going to do is go to Astra. Okay. Or maybe let's go to a couple other websites and see how these actually work. You can see they applied in this heading, right? Then they added in this text, but this is basically kind of like the hypertext, because when I click on it, it will go to that specific page. They have this photo. They have another hyperlink or linking word over here or text. They have this another photo, and you can see this is kind of like that, you know, columns. Okay, and this heading again, subheading over here, and they have another text over here, and you can see the columns again, and then the text, and you can see the 3 columns. Okay, and the text or the hypertext. Then you can see the links at the end, and also the links so that it goes to the specific page a user needs to go. Let's go to another website and show you how it basically works. Let's go to Tech Radar. I'll click on this Tech Radar. When I click on it, just like I said, as I used the YouTube, you'll find a couple of YouTube videos on each and every one of these reviews or previews. Okay, let's select on any one of them, and you will basically find some of them has a YouTube video attached to their, you know, their article. Now when I go down and I go more down, and you find these other ones, but obviously some of them have like a couple of YouTube videos added to them. So I'm going to go down, and you can see the couple of elements have been added over here. Now let's go to another site. Let's say NutriLife. Let's just go to this one, NutriLife, or maybe like this. Any of the website we want. Click on it, and you can see photos has been added, and a lot of them. Okay, so this is basically how it works. I'm gonna click on this Navigator, but let me just finish this media section first. You have the spline scene too. You can add in your spline scene. This basically works as a URL, but it's a spline scene, so it works basically as a 3D model, something like that. You can apply it and work according to your desire. And as this is a website, there is doesn't contain like pages and stuff, but you can add in a couple more other pages and link them together, just like prototyping them together. If you don't know what prototyping is, prototyping means to link one page to another. So if you've ever used or worked with Figma or maybe Adobe XD, well, you will know how those actually work. And basically it's similar to linking one page to another. But as this is a website, this mainly keeps on scrolling and scrolling on the first page or maybe the second page. Okay, so you don't have to worry that much. So we are done with the spline scene. Now let's go to forms and add in a form block. You can see our form block has been added. You can see the sections. You can add in success, error, and all of them. We're going to go through them in the next lesson and how you can customize them. But in this lesson, we are just going to learn about how we can apply them and see how all of them basically works. Now you also have this file upload section. Well, let's say we went to a website, and then in a website you want to upload something, and this is basically how it works. This is the button which you'll be able to apply, which basically works as helping the users to upload their content or maybe upload their work. So you can use that upload. And there are other stuff such as text area, which let's say this is the one of the comment section. This is the checkbox. This is the input box. Now let's say this is the radio button. Let's say recording and stuff. This is the reCAPTCHA. Let's say some person wants to do the reCAPTCHA one. They just click on reCAPTCHA and it just works like that. So there are a couple of things that work as input data. So this is basically you will find it in this forum section, so that the person or the people who are using it will be able to put in their own content, their own elements in your own website, right? So then we have this form button. After they're done, just going to click on this OK, and they're good to go. Then we have this advanced. We have this search, background, drop, lightbox, navbar, sidebar, tabs, maps, Facebook, Twitter, and all of those. You can add also Instagram and all of those. So this also works as as a logo, maybe a slider. If you want to add in photos, you want to put embedded, you can do that. You can apply search bar, you can apply drop down bar. You can also add a navigation bar. Let's say I'm going to click on navigation bar, and you can see the navigation bar has been added, just like we saw on the home, about, and contact. You don't even have to work a lot or maybe put more labor or put more time while using Webflow, because you basically find a lot of things or maybe a lot of presets or templates that contains all of the data. It's like a pre-built, pre-built ones. You don't have to work on it. You can just change the data or change the way it looks, and then you're good to go. Now I'm going to click on this plus again as we're done with advanced. Now the last one we have is others. Well, it doesn't contain much thing on the others, but there's grid and columns. But one thing there is I'm going to show you is Facebook, Twitter, and maps. If you want to add a maps, just click on maps, and then you'll be able to add in a specific area so that it shows up on your website. That makes your work a lot more easier, right? There's the map. I'm going to click on this plus again, and when you click on any of these Facebook and Twitter, the logo will appear up just like this, and you'll be able to apply in your logo just like this, right? This is the Twitter, and then add in your handle or your Twitter handle, and it will appear up on your website. And if you want to add in columns and grids, just click on any one of them and a column and grid will be made. And also the preset or, the settings will appear right up over here. Now, as we're good to go, we're going to click on our Navigator and you can select what has been added. You can see from the first one, we added a feature table, link, collection list wrapper. In our section, we added YouTube, spline scene, form block, logos, title, large, container 2 contains quick stack, cell, all of them, 4 cells. Then we have this nav bar. In the nav bar, we have map and Twitter, and at the end, we have columns. You can select all of them and remove it according to your desire. Just click on delete, and you can see all of them are being removed, right? But what I'm going to do is going to be press on Control Z, and you can see it is being redone. So this is basically how it works. You're going to press on undo, you can press on redo, Control Z, and Shift Control Y. So undo and redo contains in a lot of sites and a lot of softwares. So now you know about how the elements in Webflow work, and also you know about how this Navigator works. You can select each and every one of them according to your desire. See? Now, if you want to go through elements and also go to layouts, you'll be able to apply in the layout any of them you want. You're going to click on Browse More Libraries. It's going to direct you to the libraries, and you can basically download and use any of the ones you want. You can see a couple of them are free, and you will also find a couple of them which are not free. So use any of the ones according to your desire, and then start working on with it so you get your perfect result. So hope you understood everything about this lesson on elements and also the Navigator. In our next lesson, we're going to learn about how we can customize our elements and our body and also our specific elements. So let's move on to that lesson. Welcome to our third lesson on Webflow. In this lesson, we are going to learn about how we can customize our elements and our, let's say, website. So without any further ado, let's just hop into the lesson and open our designer. And if you've seen our previous lesson, you already know how to put in your elements in your layout or your website. Now you can see that all of the elements which I added in our previous lesson are still over here. They were not removed. And even if we go to our Navigator, you can see in our body we have the same things. We can extend it a bit so that we can see all of the things or elements which we applied. Now I'm going to do is shorten it up so that I can get a more clear view of what has been added on which section. So you can see that there are 3 different sections. There's features table, section, and logos, title, large. And all of the elements which I added are in these sections of the body. Now I'm going to do is start off with the features table. I'm going to click on features table and extend it a bit, and you can see that there are these elements applied to this features table. First is link, collection list wrapper, collection list, and empty state. The first thing I'm going to do is click on link. I'm going to do is minimize or hide this Navigator. Now I'm going to do is click on the settings option, and you can see on each and every of the elements you'll be able to customize it according to your desire. Eventually I'm going to start off with text link. Now you can see if I want to add in any text link, I'm going to do is open up the URL. Now let's say I'm going to go off to any of our website. Let's say I'm going to do is App Store. I'm going to do is go to any of the App Store. I'm going to do is take this URL, Control C. I'm going to do is paste it right over here. Now when I click on enter, and let's say I'm going to do is open a new tab, which I'm going to do is when a person opens it up or clicks this link, they're going to open it up in a new tab. So I'm going to do is keep it up like this, which is the text link. Now I'm going to do is click on preview, toggle preview. I'm going to click on this, and you can see that is taking me to Webflow e-commerce, but it's going to take me directly to App Store, okay, which is going to be somewhere around over here. But you can see This is how it basically works and how it actually looks like. But this is our website which we are working on. Now we are done with this text link. So as we're done with it, I'm going to do is click on settings again, and you can see the URL which has been applied. Now if you want to preload or prefetch or pre-render, that's like according to your desire. Let's say I'm going to keep it on default most of the time. Now what I'm going to do is click on page, whichever page you want. You can apply or connect to any of the page you want to. Now we have is this page section. Which section do you want to go to? Let's say there are a couple of text which you click on and then it takes you down to a specific section. That is how it basically works on section. So you can click on them and select any of the pages. Let's say I'm going to click on this. Let's say I'm going to do is click on maybe email form or email, and whichever one you want. Now I'm going to do is go to emails, whichever email you want to connect it to. Then the last we have is this phone number. So when a person clicks on it, it will directly show you the number and you can call them however you want. Now, as we're done with this text link, I'm going to click on Navigator again. Then we have this collection list wrapper. Now, when you click on collection list wrapper, you also have the same option of element settings. Now, when you click on it, you will be able to apply in a source. As I don't have any source, you can click on any of the collection you want online and apply it directly. So you have a source, and also you'll be able to make, a collection, or maybe double click to connect to a collection. So you can see the same settings have appeared up. Now, as we're done with this collection list and empty state, which you can see all over here, the next thing what we're going to go through is going to be our section. We're going to extend our section and we have this YouTube option. Now, in this YouTube option, I'm going to do is also apply in, or maybe go to our settings and apply any of our video. What you're going to do is go to youtube.com and then apply any of the links. Let's say I'm going to do is copy any of the link and then paste it right over here and apply in your title and from which part you want to start it to. You can do that. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to take in any of this. Let's say I'm going to do is take this. Let's say I'm going to open it up, or maybe just copy the link, click on share, copy it, and paste it right over here, the URL fee. And you can see it has been pasted. And add in the title, let's say music. See? Now you can start from like this. Just like this. Okay? This is basically how it works. Now, if you don't want any title, you can also keep it just like this. And if you want to press on cross, it will be removed. And even if you change it up, let's say I'm going to do is remove all of it. I'm going to do is remove all of the things. I'm going to do is just keep it to be blank. So now you know how it works. Now you can go through other settings such as mute, autoplay. If you click on autoplay, it will just keep on playing. You can also show player controls if you wanted to, so that people who get in your website will be able to pause, play, change the sound, maybe copy the link and all of those. But if you don't want it to be like that, just click on just this, unmark this, show player control, and they will not be able to. So now you know how you'll be able to work with YouTube settings in Webflow. I'm going to do is cut this tab off. Now, as we're done with YouTube, I'm going to go through navigation bar or Navigator. Now we're going to go through spline scene. Well, I'm going to show you how spline scene basically works. I'm going to click on Navigator, click on the settings, and you're going to apply any of the spline scene or reload spline scene. Now, on your web browser, search for any spline scene. Okay, then you have this 3D spline scenes in all of these websites. Well, basically these are 3D elements. Now I'm going to go to any of these websites and you have to get started with the AI or anything. You'll find a couple of other softwares or a couple of other websites which you'll be able to work with. Let me just continue this up. Well, this is a website called appspline.design. Continue with Google or email or Gmail, whichever one you want. I'm going to do is click on any of the ones. Let's say I'm going to click on any of the account I have. And it's going to connect me to that account and I will be able to do that. Let's say Nagasaki. I'm going to do is just start it up. Hobby next. Okay, I'm gonna do is just apply any. Okay, now as we've logged into this website, what we're gonna do is select any of these elements or any of these spline scenes or 3D graphics so that we can apply it directly to our website. So I'm gonna do is take this 3D art or 3D design or spline scene and take the URL and then apply it directly over to our Webflow e-commerce, okay? So that it appears right over here. Sometimes it doesn't work because some websites want you to buy the premium ship and then they allow you to download it and all of those. So I'm gonna do is just start. What I'm gonna do is take this URL, okay? I'm gonna do is share it up, Control C. Let's try it over here. Control V and see if it works. Reload spline scene. And if it still doesn't work, we're gonna do is take this up and we have to share it, and then we'll be able to, you know, take it up. Hold Alt with your key and then you'll be able to see how it basically works. See? Okay, now what we're gonna do is going to be search up for, you know, share, which is over here. We're gonna like press on next on most of the time, and we're gonna do is select on this, and I'm gonna do is click on share, and I'm gonna do is copy link. The link has been copied. I'm gonna do is triple click, remove, V, enter. It's gonna take a bit of time, okay? Sometimes it doesn't show up because of, you know, just like I said, it doesn't work up sometimes. But if you have any spline scene or any 3D art or graphics applied or downloaded in your PC, you can apply directly and it will show up just like this, okay? Just like this one, okay, just the way you see it over here as a spline graphic, okay? And we're going to go to our Webflow e-commerce again as we're done with our spline. Now we're going to go to form block. When you click on form block, there are a couple of these blocks which you will be able to apply. Now, first thing I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this form option. I'm going to do is minimize this. And I'm going to click on this settings. And you have this source, state, name, redirect, action, and method. Now, first off is the source. What type of source do you want? The default form or the logic form? If you want it to be the logic form, click on logic and you have this flow, okay? Well, logic, basically the flow is something like, you know, the chart or the flow of the data. But if you want the default, just text, just click on default. Then we have a state, success, error. You will see that all of them are different one by one. If you type an error, it will be a bit more different than the previous one. But I most of the time prefer to be normal because you can do it on most of the ones or do the most of the work on normal and it doesn't look that bad. But if you want it to be the specific one, just select on the ones you need. Then we have this email form. If you want to add an email form, just click on email form. Or if you want it to be contact form, just apply in contact form. If you want it to be the data form, type in data form. Okay, that's according to your data. Now we have redirect URL. You can put in any of the URL you want to redirect it to. Then we have the action. What type of action do you want? Let's say you have Webflow default. You can apply in different defaults if you want to. Then we have is the method. Is the get method or the post method. So the get method basically makes you get it. And if you post it up, is the post method. So one person can post it. But if you want to put in get, the user will be able to get in the specific data they want. So this is basically how the form section or the form setting works. I'm going to click on Navigator again. We have success message and we have error message too. Then the last thing we have is this logos, title, and large. We have container 1. So you can also select any of these images and remove them and change it according to your desire. You can change it up, choose the image, and apply it up. Let me just show you how it basically works. You can choose the image, click on it, and you will see that your drop file over here is opened up. Click on this plus option or upload any of the one. Okay, I'm going to click on this plus. Now click on this parent folder. Let me just click on parent. I'm going to do is press on create. Now I'm going to do is open up any of the documents. First thing I'm going to do is going to be going off or minimizing our PC or maybe our web browser and selecting the folder or file where we have all of our assets. So I'm going to do is, as you can see that I have my photos over here, what I'm going to do is drag any of the photos and drop it up over here. And when it is being dropped over here, it will upload. You can see it is being uploaded, and you have to wait for a while until it is totally rendered and uploaded on our Webflow. Then what you're going to do is select this photo and apply it directly over here. Replace image. You can see it has been applied as a logo. But as this is not a logo, what you can also do is customize it. Right click on it. You can change in the size. The image is HIDPI. You can change the width. Let's say I'm going to do select this one and select the settings first. Let's say this is not auto. Okay. What I'm going to do is take this photo, click on the settings. I'm going to do is, let's say 200. You can see it is like reducing the size, and you have the alt text. You can change the text too. You have loads, how you want it to load and all of those. And you can see this is basically how you add in logos too on your website. Then we're going to go to Navigator bar again. You can see now it is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. You have image clients and all of those. What I'm going to do is reduce the size a bit more, and you have this client's title, which you basically have. You can apply in the title. Then we have is this quick stack. So in the quick stack, you can change it up according to your desire. These are basically cells. And if you want to click on quick stack, there's basically no settings because most of the title or most of the elements are inside of the quick stack. The quick stack is basically an area where you can put in cells and all of those, columns and rows. So I'm going to do is click on cells. And as we're done with it, I'm going to go off to nav bar. Click on nav bar or extend the nav bar. Click on it. I'm going to do is click on this nav bar or cell, which is over here, nav bar, our container. I'm going to do is click on this container and nav bar again. We can see this is the nav bar. I'm going to click on settings, and you can see that we have our menu, show and hide. So if you want it to show, just click on show. See, this is now a lot more bigger. But if you want to hide it, then this is basically how it will look like on like the home and all of those. You have this drop down, where you have this over right. You have this, let's say, over left, according to your desire. Then you can also click on ease in and out, which is kind of like, let's say, animation. You have the duration. You have menu fills, page height, disable scroll offset when fixed, and what type of icon do you want. If it's for your PC, select all this, always appear. This is tablet and below. Then we have is this phone. Then we have is phone and below. And this is basically none. So most of the time I prefer it to use on always appear on PC. And you don't have to worry when your screen turns out to be like this. I'm going to do is extend the size. Okay. This is basically how it works. Extend it a bit more. Okay, I'm going to do is like this. This is now phone methods. I'm going to do is click it up, click this, and you can see this is now the PC. I'm going to click on Navigator. I'm going to click on Container, click on Navigation, and you can see that there are no settings over here. So I'm going to click on this again. We're going to go through Map, Navigation, and I'm going to click on the Settings option, and you'll be able to add in any API key or add in any address. Go to Google, like Google Map, and select any of your location and apply the address over here, and you can also apply in the title. That is like specifically up to you. Then we have is this Twitter. If you want to add in your Twitter handle or your Facebook handle, just go to settings and apply in your Twitter or share URL or text tweet according to your desire. And even if you want to add and follow, just click on this follow, and you have this option, and also put the icon over here and use your handle over here and how you want it to show. If you want it to show, just click on show, and if you want it to hide, then you can just click on hide, and you can click on large or maybe even regular. So that's like totally up to you. And if you want more settings, Just go through here and set it up according to your desire. So hope you understood everything about customizing your elements. But the last thing we're going to learn about is the pages. Now, there are a couple of things you have to learn about the pages. In your website, there are a couple of web pages. But when you see one page, a single page doesn't contain any, let's say, specific limit. So any user or any developer makes the page in such a way so that he can put his specific amount of data in a specific page. So there is no like definite size of a specific page. Okay, so you can use page or make it your home page by clicking on this home. Now this is the home page. If you want a utility page, there's a password page. Okay, so only password pages will appear over here. You can see the password protected page. Enter your password, click on submit. Click on this pages option and you have this 404, which is the error page. Okay, so when it appears up, this is the page not found. So you're going to put it in such a way so that when you click in on this kind of page appears up. And if you want the password page will appear up. Okay, but most of the people do not have the specific type of page. Now you can add in more pages if you want. No CMS collection, no e-commerce pages. If you want to add more like static page, you can also apply it. You can click on settings and apply public, anyone with password, specific user only. That's like totally up to you. You can do a lot of things over here and you can fiddle with them one by one. But as this is the basic lesson of how you can customize elements and then go through Navigator bar and also the pages. So this is basically enough for you to know about how Webflow actually works and functions with the elements and customization. If you want to go through each and every of these elements, you can go through them and also fiddle with the settings and how those actually work. So the last thing I'm going to show you is going to be the upload. So I'm going to click on page, click on home, which is our home page. I'm going to click on elements. I'm going to click on upload. I'm going to click on this upload option, which is not over here. I can apply it over here. I'm going to do is select on any of this cell. Click on the cell. I'm going to do is apply. Let's try applying it if it works. Okay, I'm going to do is it still doesn't work. I'm going to do is remove most of the navigators or maybe most of the things and see how it basically works. Okay, now we have this. I'm going to add in a layout. Let's say I'm going to keep it like this. Then I'm going to do is going to be adding in our elements. Let's say I'm going to go down and upload it up if it works. If it doesn't work, you're going to select any of this and then try fiddling with it. If it still doesn't work, what you're going to do is add in your input. Let's say I'm going to do is go to our input. I'm going to do is text on this. I'm going to do is input in a form. So I'm going to click on this and select a form. I'm going to do is find out the form block. This is the form block. As this is the form block, then I will have it over here. Click on this plus option. Put in our input. And then we're going to do is click on plus. And after that, we're going to have our text area. Click on our plus. And still, as it doesn't work, I'm going to click on this. Allow site visitor attach file, like a screenshot or resume. Then you'll be able to apply the file output, okay, our file input. So I'm going to do is apply in our settings and in our submit box. I'm going to do is click on this plus. And then I'll be able to apply it. If it still didn't work, you can also apply it to different sections and different areas. Well, we will show it to you later on in our next lesson. So hope you understood everything about this lesson on Webflow, how you'll be able to customize it. And let's move on to our next lesson where we are going to learn about our components. Then we're going to learn about variables, also our style selectors. So without any further ado, let's just jump into our next lesson. Welcome to our fourth lesson on Webflow. In this lesson, we are going to learn about components. we're going to learn about variables, and we're also going to learn about style selectors. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson where we are going to learn everything about them and how those actually function Webflow. So the first thing we're going to start off with is the component. You can press on Shift and A, and you can see create new component has appeared up. Well, components and elements are two different things. Well, if you want to create a component which lets you reuse designs in your site, to create a component, right click an element on the canvas and select create component, or Control Shift and A. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on create component, and let's say the component name will be Ecommerce. Press on create, and you can see a new component has appeared up right over here. And now the whole thing, or let's say the name, is now Ecommerce instance. So now you'll be able to apply in properties over here and edit your own component. So when you click on edit component, you can see the props over here. Okay, you can apply in properties. You can go through settings and apply in the field label. I'm going to do is press on cross and click on this, and you can see this here is now a component. Okay, so the whole thing is this a block form, this is the form, and this is the field label. Now this is the component, and this all are, let's say, the same category. Okay, now as this is the component and these are the elements, so now this is e-commerce. I can drag it right over here, as this is the body. All of the things contained in this. Now in this, all of them contain in this, let's say, component. So this is basically how it works. Basically, this is kind of like the categorizing stuff. You can click on Navigator, and you can see an e-commerce component. There's field text, field label, text field again, text area, submit button, success, message, and error message. So all of them contain in the same component. I'm going to do is delete it, and so that I have a completely, let's say, clear page. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is going to be going to this section of variables. Press on V to access that. Now you can see that there are no variables to reuse design values and maintain consistency. But if you want to add in new variables, what you're going to do is click on new variables. Let's say what type of variables you want. There is either color, the size, and the font family. Well, these are variables because you can change them anytime you want. Now, first off, we'll start off with color. Select on color and select whichever color you want. Let's say only we have white. But let's say I'm going to do is add more. Let's say I'm going to use this white and click on variable. Let's say the size. Now, which size do you want? Let's say I want 30 right now. I'm going to hit on enter. Now I'm going to use click on variable, the font family. Which font do you want? Let's say click on this and select, let's say, Great Vibes, and on white, I'm going to do select it. Let's say I'm going to type in yellow, and you can see yellow has been applied. Now, as we have done applying our variable, we're going to use our make a selection. Unselect it. What I'm going to do is click on our variables, and this is our variable. Okay. Now I'm going to do is create another variable. Let's say the font family. So now which font do you want? So first thing I want just Great Vibes. So I'm going to do is remove this, click on settings, and delete. So this is the variable which I want. So I'm going to save it up. And if I add in something, let's say I'm going to add in this. Now you can see this is basically how it works. But let's say I'm going to do is remove this. Okay. Removed. Now I'm going to do is apply in a new form. Now in this new form, I'm going to apply in a couple of text. Well, basically, the variables work in a different way. You can select whichever variables you want. The first thing I'm going to do is add in a button. I'm going to add in the button text. Hit it. Select on it. You can use color. You can use text span. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go on variables and use this. This is the variable has been applied. Now the last thing we have is the style selectors. You can use whichever style you want. And you will see most of the styles do have the CSS tag. Now, if you want to see the CSS form or the code, you will be able to see the export code. Now you can see this is HTML. This is loading the code. Okay. This is CSS, how it basically works. You can see the grade vibes have been applied. The color is yellow. The size is 30px. Okay, you can still see 30px, and all of them has been applied. Now the next thing we have is JS Java, JavaScript, and this is how it basically works. And if you want to copy it, just copy the whole thing. Okay, CS, just copy the whole thing, or you can just copy the whole thing and paste it to any of your text editor, and you will see the same kind of things or same kind of preview will appear up on your website after you're done with it. So this has a very let's say a very functionable software and a functionable, let's say, functionality. Then we have this feature table. If you want to apply, just click on it. You can see all of them. Let's say this is the style selector. Let's say the menu button, no applies, nothing has been applied. So I'm going to click on the settings option. You can see this is how it works. You can select on this and you can apply whatever you want with it. Let's say I'm going to click on no applied styles, which is the menu button. So let's say I'm going to go to this style selector again. What I'm going to do is nav, and you can see these are the codes for it. Let's say display, flex, margin bottom, 0px, justify center, align item center. So now you know about how these three actually work. Let's try on hitting our shortcut keys. The first one is Shift A, which is e-commerce instance, which I removed it. Then we have is variables, which is V. Then the last one we have is this one, which is also G. Now you can see we can select whichever styles you want. Let's say I'm container. You have container 1, 2, 3. Because you can see how all of them function. Okay, now you can change the name and do whatever you want with it. And even if you want to remove them, that's like totally up to you. Let's clean up the unused ones, and you're gonna remove them however you want. But now we have is the nav bar, and then we have is the container. You can select any of them. Let's say I'm gonna do is select all of it. I'm gonna go off to this and select this one. Okay, components affected, none, because we have no component in it. So now you know how this basically works. And the first thing I'm going to do is add in an image so that we can start off using this. Let's say I'm going to do select on this and apply this up. I'm going to do is go off the settings, show all settings, or maybe I'm going to do is take it a bit down, click on this. I'm going to do is type in 100 only. I'm going to take it right over here. Okay, I'm going to put in another text over here. I'm going to do is minimize it a bit more. I'm going to do is, let's say, select on this, click on elements. Then I'm going to do is put in a heading. Let's say I'm going to do is double click on it. Let's say off line. I'm going to do is triple click on it. And I'm going to do is select whichever font I want. So if I want to do that, I'm going to do is go to our settings or select our styles. And in our styles, we'll find our right click. And then you'll be able to show whichever heading, whichever type, H1, H2, whichever one you want. What I'm going to do is put in H3 or H5. I'm going to triple click on it again. And then what we're going to do is align it at the center. So if I want to align it at the center, I'm going to do is go off the settings and find out align. Let's say I'm going to do is select on settings, go down a bit more. I'm going to do is Control A or Shift A. So that is as it has been selected. I'm going to do is select all of them, and you have this justify option in the center. What I'm going to do is put it up a bit more at the top. What I'm going to do is keep it at the center, and then I'm going to do is take the whole heading right at the center. Okay, this is offline. Okay, this is basically how it works. And if you want to change it just the way it is, I'm gonna do is select all of it, and you can wrap it up if you want to. You can apply in gaps if you want to, but that's like totally up to you how you're gonna work with it. If you want to change the font, just go to typography and change it however you want. Let's say I want this great vibes. I'm gonna apply it right over here. So now you know how you'll be able to work with Webflow and how you can end or let's say use components, variables, and style selectors. Okay, so now let's move on to our next lesson where we're going to learn about assets. Then we're going to learn about our CMS, and then we learn about logic. We're going to go 3 by 3 in each lesson. So thank you for watching this video up till the end, and hope you understood everything about this lesson. Welcome to our 5th lesson on Webflow, where we are going to cover up 3 more functionality of Webflow. So we are back again on Webflow and its basics and advanced. So the 3 more functionality which we're going to cover up in this lesson are going to be these 3. They are called assets, CMS, and then we have logic. Well, all of them differ from one another. So let's start off by knowing what those actually do. So that's the first one, which is called assets. So let's say it is kind of like a document or maybe a workspace for you to upload your assets in Webflow. It could be audio, it could be video, it could be images, and even documents which you want to apply from your source, let's say from your PC or your device, to Webflow so that you can advertise that source or that content on your website. So let's say in the previously I've used this photo as my logo over here, and that is why I uploaded my photo as an asset to this asset section in Webflow, and you can see that I will be able to use it whenever I want because this is being saved online, and it also appears on over here. Even if I try to use it in another, let's say, website, I'm going to click on home now. I'm going to go off to my dashboard and open up another website. Okay, not another website. We're going to be making another website. So I'm going to click on new site and we're going to name it. Okay, let's say I'm going to click on this blank, and then I'm going to do the same thing by going to asset, and then I'm going to do is select the same photo which we used in our previous one, just to show that if you upload any asset in the website of Webflow, it will appear over there. You can see that right now it doesn't have any asset because it is being functioned in just one. But if we refresh it and then upload the same thing, as you can see, it has now been refreshed. Now I'm gonna do is just click on this again, and now you can see as it has been cloud uploaded, it will appear on each, let's say, each document you open up or each website you want to build. But you can also stop this function by, let's say, doing a couple of things on your settings so that it stays only on one website. Now let's go to our previous one, which is going to be our e-commerce site, and then start working on from there, because I'm going to click on my dashboard and find out the one which I previously used. Okay, you can see this is the next, like the new one, just which I opened up right now, and this is the previous one which we've been using from the first lesson. So now you know how this asset function works. The shortcut key for this assets function is J. Click on J and you will see it will appear up like that. You can also organize your data or content by clicking on this option and then making a new folder and then upload your asset over there. And then you will have this images, documents, and also latte. Okay, then you have also untitled. So this is how this asset section works in Webflow. Now let's go to another functionality which Webflow has to offer. This is called CMS. Let's learn what CMS is. The short form of Content Management System is a CMS. A CMS is where you store and manage dynamic content on your site.
You can reference dynamic content, let's say content that changes in your site design. Then when you or a teammate or maybe your colleague or let's say the people who creates or changes content in the CMS, it instantly updates on all the pages where it's referenced. Let's show you how this basically works. You can play it up and you can see this is the tutorial of CMS and what CMS is. Webflow also have this content and also let's say course section where you can learn all about CMS and how it basically works. Well, this basically helps you to change the object or maybe change the element or the content date by date. Let's say something updated and you don't want to take the hassle of changing each and every data step by step or one by one, okay? Because you know that it's the same content you want to change to each page or each site. So what you're going to do is just use the CMS or content management system to change all of the data at once, which makes your work a lot more easier. Okay, let's say a new update has come in a website or maybe a software and you want to let the people know that this update is coming in this date. But if you want to go, because they have like a lot of websites that contain these data, but you want to give them this notice only on one site or only on one category or one page. And when you use CMS, all the data or let's say all the sites that contain the same data, let's say they want you to know that it's being updated, CMS is being used so that all the data is being published or posted or the notice is being posted all at once. Okay, eventually also with the content, you want to change the content and update them. You don't want to do it one by one. CMS helps you to do that all at once, saving a lot of time. You can make your collection of let's say CMS by clicking on CMS or create new collection. Click on this create new collection. Now you have to select a lot of things. There are a lot of things you have to keep in mind. First is going to be the collection templates. What type of templates you want to use. Let's say this is going to be an event. The next thing what we're going to do is going to be selecting on the collection settings. What type of setting is going to be? Name the event. Let's say this is going to be the update for my, let's say, software. Update for my software. Okay. The next thing is going to be the URL. Update for my software. That is going to be the collection URL. Then the basic name. How is it going to look like? The end time, start time, date time, and location. You can see when it is given the event, all of the description and all of the criteria has opened up in the custom fields. Let's say the starting date is this date. Okay, let's say, okay, not my bad. Once 12, this is going to be 12. Help text is going to be something else. That's like totally up to you. Then you can save the fields however you want. Now, as this has been done, I'm going to do is click on slug. Let's say the slug help text is going to be this, thus is, let's say I'm going to do is this is starting on 12th April. Okay, this is just the help text. I'm going to save the field and the field has been saved and everything has been done. Now, after it is done, you can see the preview, the name. We're going to add in the name. Let's say the label name is going to be event of update. See, now we have the event of update. This is starting on 12th April. Webflow update for my software example. Then we're going to add in the starting date, which is going to be 12th date, which is going to be 12th April, 2 a.m. Okay, 2 a.m. An end date, we're going to add in, let's say, 30th April, 4 p.m. Done. We have all of it together. Okay, then we have other ones which you can apply if you want to. You can add in more fields, you can add in location, you can add in description. That's like totally up to you. And after you're done, just click on create collection and you are good to go. Save the changes and you have this Okay, add 5 items, add 10 items, add all of these items. You have 0 updates for my soft date. You can add in the items and those will be updated directly into your website. You can see new update for my software. I'm going to click on this new update for my software and you can just type in the data and then you're good to go. Okay. So this is basically how it works on CMS. Now you know how CMS works and how you'll be able to add in data. Eventually, you'll be able to add in photos over here too. So let's say I'm going to go over to my desktop where I have my photo. Click on resources. Let's say I'm going to use this one right now. And I'm going to do is click on done. And you can see it has been created. I'm going to do is event of update. Let's say third update. The month is going to be 3 1. Okay, we're gonna do is done. We're good to go. Staged for publish, and this is when it will be published. Okay, when you want to publish it, what you're gonna do is just save, or you can also publish it directly. First off, save it up. Let's say I'm gonna do is add in a bit more. Let's say London. I'm gonna do is description is going to be this is a statement. This, okay, let's say this is a notice of update for Webflow. Okay, we're good to go. I'm gonna save it up. After I saved it up, I'm gonna do is click on this. I'm gonna click on this, and you cannot publish or like enable single item publish. Okay, so I'm gonna do is just save it up, and whenever you want it, you can just publish it whenever you want. You have to export, import whenever you want. So now I have one event to update as a CMS collection. So now you know how CMS works. Now the last one we're going to learn is about the logic. I'm going to do save the changes. Okay. Now we have is the flow. So flow is a different work or different method of, let's say, the Webflow logic, which can construct and perform automated workflows, also known as flows, that collect and route sales lead, connect with your customers, manage your site content, and more from all within the Webflow designer. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to access logic, how to create and construct flows. So first thing what you're going to do is click on flow. You have no saved flow. First thing what you're going to do is click on new flow. So click on this and now you'll be able to apply in whatever you want to make. You have this conditional rule too, but most of the ones which is being used is going to be send email notification. So this is basically how it works, is that when a person selects on this, they get the exact data they want, which you put in that specific location, or even it works as a trigger to start the flow. Let's say I'm going to click on this. Okay, then I'm going to do is select on this, and then we're going to add in another one, which is going to create CMS item for you, and add another one at another block, which is going to update the CMS item, and the last one is going to be make HTTP request. Okay, click on this HTTP request. So this is basically how it works. Let me say select the trigger, which is going to start this flow. So the first flow, let's say when you go in a website, or maybe let's say Gmail. First off, what you go is go to the first page, then click on create account or sign in. It takes you directly to, let's say, your password account like page. And after that, what you do is conditions which you agree to, and at the end you get the exact data which you need. So this is basically a pattern which helps you to get through a couple of steps and get your exact data. So you can see selecting a trigger, which is going to form submissions, run when a form in your Webflow project has been submitted. Then incoming webhook runs when an event in an external service occurs. Okay, so this is going to be a block one, and sends email notification. Well, you can customize it according to your desire. Well, this is a bit complex, but this is basically just a pattern of how your website is going to function according to your desire, and how the users are going to get their data from your site. So this is the flow. Okay, so after the flow has been added, you can customize it according to your data. You can see this is get, which is going to be HTTP request, but in HTTP request, I most of the time suggest you to get post, and in update CMS is going to be collection, which I already have. Then create CMS is going to be the same one, update for my software, and the block email is going to be sent to whomever you want to send. Okay, so this is basically how it works. And at the end, if you want to add in conditional rule, just click on this conditional rule and then true and false, which works the way you want it to be, and then get an exact result from here and from here, which you want to apply as an action. So this might be a bit complex for you, but this is quite like very simple. This is just a pattern how it works in your website to get an exact data. So I hope you understood everything about this lesson on the three functionality, which is assets, then we have a CMS, and then we have is logic. You can open them up with the shortcut key. First off, assets is J. Okay, click on J. First off, go off to this J. You can see assets has opened up, and for logic, press on L. You can see logic has opened up, and we also have a flow right now. But CMS does not have any shortcut key, so you have to press on it and then update any of your CMS which you want to use as your desire. So let's move on to the next lesson, where we are going to learn about the next three functionality Webflow has to offer. And after we are done with these functionalities, we're going to go to the right side of our panel, where we're going to learn about style, settings, and interaction, and customize each and every elements our website has. Welcome to the sixth lesson on Webflow, where we are going to learn about the last three functionality Webflow has to offer. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson. So the three functionality which we're going to learn in this lesson and cover up are going to be users, then e-commerce, and the last one is going to be apps. So on three of them, only one of them has assigned shortcut key, which is apps. If you press E, the apps section will open up. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson, where we are going to start off by learning how users work. So first thing I'm going to do is going to be clicking on users. As you can see, when I click on users, sometimes if you are a first user, you might see a pop-up will appear up. What you're going to do is allow it, and then you will find out these options. First is going to be the setup guide, just like I showed you on the first of this course, that a couple of markups appear up or as a tutorial. So these are the steps which you will be able to start off to configure your website. Okay, you can see design the sign up page, design the login page, design the user account page, design the access denied page. Okay, we're gonna go to each and every one of them and enable them. Don't forget to enable SSL. Okay, so this is basically just the setup guide, but the main thing about this user page or this user functionality is to see how many users are seeing your website and how many groups have you accessed it. Okay, so that they can work on your website to update your website and make your website a lot better day by day. So the first thing what you're going to do is click on user accounts. As you can see that as this is my new user account, so there is literally no users right now, but you can invite users however you want. Just click on invite new users and then add in their email address in which their account is connected to Webflow, and then just send it to them. And when they accept this, let's say, invitation, they will find out that you guys will be able to collaborate or even able to see what you're working on as a research, or maybe help each other out. You can also access the groups, choose access groups, how many people you want your website to be accessed. Okay, this is how it basically works. You can see no groups. Okay, so when you basically allow people to access your website, they will be able to upgrade your website day by day and also give you new ideas. this also works the same way as access groups. No groups have access to your website. You can see your site has no access groups. So what you're gonna do is click on new access group. Then you're gonna type in the basic info, name, slug, access setting. If it's a free access, just pay, like, just click on free access. If it is paid access, if you want it from it to, gain some money, just click on paid access. Then you're going to create the membership product, then the restricted content, which you don't want others to see. Only the paid people will be able to see it, or when they are accessed or like given the permission to access, they will be able to see it. Either they won't be able to. Okay, so now you know how this users panel work in Webflow. Now, the next thing what we're going to learn about is going to be our e-commerce. Well, Webflow is basically a software or a website-based software which helps you to make websites. And as I've made an e-commerce website, you can see that I have a section called e-commerce. You can see all changes will be lost, but I'm going to do is press on continue because I do not have any users right now. So the first thing is that the setup guide in e-commerce are 12 steps. What you're going to do is do all of these. And when you are done with all of these steps, you will basically be on the basic level of being an e-commerce site. So all of them has different steps for different sites. So first is products. If you want to apply in products or add in products, just click on add 5 items, add 10 items, or add 15 items as a sample. When you click on them, you'll find at creating sample items to go ahead and keep using Webflow. So it is like becoming ready so that you will be able to add in 10 or 15 items on your website. You can see all of them will appear up. This is basically just just an example or a sample. After you're done, what you're gonna do is dates for publish. You can just apply them, you can just save and apply it later on whenever you want. Okay, so now you see that there are 15 items, right? I'm gonna do is pin each and every one of them. I'm gonna do is export or import. So I'm gonna do is import, drag the CVS if you want to, but when you want to export it up, just click on export and you can see the e-commerce product has been downloaded on your PC. And after all of them, I'm gonna do is select each and every one. Let's say I'm gonna do is select all of them, and I'm gonna do is export each and every one. So it's being downloaded all at once. But if you wanna do like select one by one according to your desire, you can select all of them as like one by one and then download it according to your desire. Then we have is category. Now add in how many type of category do you want. Let's say I'm gonna add in 10 items. There will be 10 category. You can see site plans on Webflow. You can see not all of the functionality is free over here. You can see 0 month, which I'm doing right now. But if you upgrade to CMS, you will get these type of more items and more functionality which you'll be able to do. So I'm going to do is add 5 items. This is going to be creating sample items. Okay, you can see 5 sample items has been ready for publishing. Now I'm going to do is add in discounts. So as there's new discount, I'm going to do is click on new discount. I'm going to do is, let's say, summer offer. I'm going to do is discount code. The discount code, let's say, there are a couple of YouTubers or maybe influencers that say that use this code to get this amount of discount. So what these websites do is basically use this thing as a discount code. So this is, you have to also keep in mind that this is going to be case sensitive. So let's say when a person, if I say use this code, let's say summer fly, but all of them is going to be, let's say, capital. So I'm going to do is summer fly, and when any user applies this discount code on them, they will get the exact discount for their specific item. So I'm going to do is add in the fixed amount. Let's say not the fixed amount. Let's say I'm going to do is add in percentage. Let's say the percentage is going to be, if they use this code, they're going to get a 30% discount. Hit on enter. Let's say set maximum discount value is going to be, let's say, $50. Okay, and this is basically how it starts, never expires. Okay, but I'm not gonna do that because it will never expire then. Okay, it will just continue, but you want it to be seasonal, right? So I'm gonna keep it to be like this. So as we're done, what we're gonna do next is going to be applies to. How does it apply to? There's going to be restrictions. So entire order or selected products. If you want it to be the entire order, let's say a person bought 7 items, and when they use the code, only the entire thing, they're gonna get 30% discount from all of them. Do you want that? Or if you want a specific item, so just click on selected products only. So let's say pick the product. Let's say I want only handcrafted metal car. When they use this and they use the code, they're gonna get the discount of 30%. So minimum order value is values at least. At least the value should be $100 spent, so that when a person buys at least $100 or have $100 in their cart, only when they use that code, they're gonna get that exact discount to be 50%. So they're gonna get it like at $50. Then we have is the total usage limit. So unlimited, because no websites want a limited amount. Okay, let's say they do not want a person to buy a limited amount of stuff. Only when there is a stock, let's say stock unavailability, then they'll limit it because there's no stock available. But they update it as, you know, there's no stock or maybe out of stock. Then we have is limit users per customer. We have is fixed limit per customer or unlimited. So there are different sites that use different type of settings. So for here, I'm going to do is fixed, or maybe just keep it unlimited. Then after you're done, just click on create. And you can see 30% discount when they use the code of Summerfly. Then we're gonna go to orders. So as there are no orders yet, when you start getting orders, you will get this amount. Then we have is subscriptions. So there are no subscription yet. So now we are done with our e-commerce on Webflow. So when you publish it and when people start going in your site and try buying in your products, they get in your category, use your discount, then you're gonna get orders from over here. Then the users, or maybe the workers, they collect the order and then package it up, send it for packaging, and fix it up and then send it. And if people subscribe to your website, as this is a paid site, you will see the exact people or the exact person or customers that are being subscribed to your website. And obviously when you see subscribed, obviously you're gonna know which person it is, and obviously give more discounts, or maybe give more, let's say hospitality to that specific person. So now you know how this e-commerce functionality works in Webflow. Now, the last thing we're going to learn is going to be the apps. So you see that there are a lot of sites, a lot of software that connect to other apps, either to promote themselves or either to make it a bit more functionable. So first thing, when you click on apps or maybe press on E, click on this find an app. It will take you to another site called this Webflows or Webflow Marketplace. So you can see that there are a couple of these apps which you'll be able to use. Each and every one of them make your website a lot more easier and a lot more functionable. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is just select any one of them. Okay, but first thing you have to keep in mind what type of website you have and what type or what category of app do you want. Do you want maybe a new and noteworthy content management design, customer service and community engagement, developer or security tool, e-commerce or booking, marketing automation, productivity or language? So everything is up to you. So first thing I'm gonna do is click on, let's say, content management and design, view all. Now you will see all the content management app will be here. I'm gonna click on paid plus free. So first I'm gonna use is free. You will see the free ones. Let's say I'm gonna use this Unsplash. So first I'm gonna click on Unsplash. I'm gonna add it up to my website. Click on add site. I'm gonna click on whichever site you want to use, which is going to be e-commerce, and then authorize the app so that I will be able to use the app on our e-commerce. So I'm gonna go off to e-commerce. I'm gonna refresh it so that e-commerce has that app I'm going to click on this Webflow, and then I'm going to wait for a while until it loads up so that I will be able to use it. Click on app. You can see Unsplash has appeared over here. I'm going to click on launch, and you will see Unsplash is right over here to use. So now you know about the functionality of each and every of this function Webflow has to offer. You can see editorial, we have presets, we have search, whichever one you want. Let's say I'm going to use animal, and you can see script error. Why is it script error? Because you can select each and every one of them. First off, I'm going to click on any one of these items. Okay, I'm going to do is make a box, and then you'll be able to add in. If you want to use any of these photos, you'll be able to apply it. First, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to drag it up right over here. Cancel, upload. You can upload it up like this, or you can also take it up just the way it is. Okay, you can also take and copy the image or save the image and also apply it directly over here. So this is basically how Unsplash works. So you get to do both of the work at the same time, downloading the photo, applying the photo directly to Webflow. Okay, there are a lot of apps that you can download and install and authorize in your Webflow on your website. So hope you understood everything about this lesson on Webflow, about the last 3 functionality Webflow has to offer. In the next lesson, we're going to learn about this area, what is it called, and also style, settings, and interaction, whatever we need to know about Webflow so that we know all about Webflow. And also then we're going to learn about some basic methods or some advanced methods to use Webflow in such a way so that you can open up your own website. So thank you for watching this video up till the end. Welcome to our 7th lesson on Webflow. In this lesson, we are going to learn about more of the interface of Webflow. As we're done with the functionalities of Webflow, now we are going to learn about more elements that we find in our Webflow interface. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson and cover each and every one of them step by step. So as we're done with this part, we have a couple more of these elements on this side. Well, these are the settings tabs. Okay, so you can see this is settings. We have help. Then we have audits. Then we have search. And at the last, we have video tutorials. And then we have at the top is this panel where we find our home. Then we have whichever presets we want to use with our PX or our canvas settings. Then we have designs. Then we have is this change settings or changes saved. Then we have export codes. Then we have is view comments, preview, share, and publish. We're going to go through each and every one of them step by step. So if you want to go through a couple of settings and change out your settings in Webflow, you have it right over here. Click on settings, and then you have search, general, backup, e-commerce, and email. So first off, you can search for general. You can see layout buttons and onboarding checklist and prompts. Okay, then we have a search, we have backup, we have e-commerce. Okay, click on continue, and you'll be able to set up your own store. And at the end, we have email. You can set up your own email with your brand logo and upload it to Webflow. Then we have is this help section. If you want any help and keyboard shortcut and CSS preview, just go to help, click on keyboard shortcut. Then another one we have is the CSS preview. You'll be able to find out the CSS preview of each and every one, or you can also go through this and go to CSS and find out whichever code is being used on CSS so that you can do it manually on any text editor in your PC or any of your device. So now you know how you'll be able to do that. You can just drag all of this down to any of your text editor and you will find out the exact result you will find out over there. Okay. Then we have is this audits. So what does audits do? Well, audits check the current page for opportunities to improve your site's performance and usability. You can see that there are missing alt text. So when you click on it, you can see pixels array, which is an asset. Without alt text, People who rely on screen readers can't access important information. Write an image description or mark it as decorative. Okay, so it's telling us to give a small description on the video or maybe on the photo we have in our page. Then the things we passed are non-descriptive link content, skipped heading level, and duplicate ID. All of them has been done, so it's not showing me. But the thing that is missing is an alt text, which is for this image. Okay, so this is how basically audits work in Webflow. Then we have a search. If you can't find anything in your Webflow, what you're gonna do is just click on search and find out anything you want, and then it will show you the exact result, whatever you need. So let's say I'm gonna search for body. When you search on body, it will be like this. Let's say I'm gonna search for feature. You can see features list over here. Now let's say I'm gonna search for pricing, or maybe just type in, hit it. You can see it's in the list item. Okay, so now you know how the search bar or search tool works too. So you have the shortcut key, which is Control+E. Let's just try doing it. Control-E. You can see the search bar has appeared over here. And for audit, we have U. Okay, and for help, we don't have any shortcut key. So I'm gonna do is cut this off, and at the end we have video tutorials. If you don't know what to do or still confused how to do this and that, what you're gonna do is click on this video tutorials and go through each and every one of them, whichever one you need. But we're gonna try to give you all of the things which you need to do in Webflow so that you get all the basics of how you can work in your Webflow. Now, let's go through the other ones, which is going to be preview. And at the end, we have share and publish. When you click on share, you'll be able to send the read-only link or collaborate with your team, which is also given access to the people or given access to a group. Okay, so if you want to share read-only link so that other person or other people will only be able to see it and not make any changes, so click on this and then like copy the link and share it to the specific person. But if you want to collaborate, click on invite and you will see the same thing of inviting people or inviting group or site access. Okay, and then you're going to like send it to that person or that group, and that person will or that group will be able to upload changes to your own site. That is how this share option works. And at the end, we have publish. If you want to publish your specific site so that other person or other people will be able to access your site and see how it is, then what you're gonna do is just custom domain if you have a domain, because domains are quite expensive basically. And if you want to add a custom domain, just click on add a custom domain and fix one domain or buy one, and then you will be able to add in your domain, or else it will be still presented in Webflow. And after that, after you're all done, just publish to select domains. Okay, and at the bottom we have the elements tab, or maybe even we call it the components. So all the components which we have appear right on this place. Let's say I'm going to click on add elements. I'm going to add in a section, and you can see a section has appeared over here. This is the body, and when I click on the section, I'm going to do is add in section. You can see a new section has been applied. I'm going to add in another one. Let's say I'm going to add in div block. You can see div block has appeared up. If I add in more of them will appear right over here, step by step. Well, this is basically very easy to do. So most of the elements or components which you apply in your Webflow layout or your website all will appear right over on the body. Then what you're gonna do is click on Navigator, and you can see all of them has appeared over here, section based. Okay, you see this button, you see this navbar logo, and all of them has been just like this. And if you extend it, you will find a lot more of these elements step by step. Okay, now you know how these elements or these, let's say, functionality or functions work in Webflow. Okay, so hope you understood everything about this lesson on the interface or more functionalities of Webflow. And then we have is this home, where when you click on home, you will find out a lot of these elements or a lot of these options which you can do. You can see the CMS collection page, which is this one. You will be able to see the new page or update for my software, which we did a while ago in our previous lessons. Click on this again. Then I'm going to click on home. I'm going to do is remove it, and you'll be able to do is product template. You can see the product template has appeared up. You're going to make another page. This is going to be the categorized template or categories template. And then we have is login, sign up, reset, which is this a login. This is the sign up page, but all of them are basically made. You're just going to make some changes. This is the reset password. Then we have more, which is update password. Then we have is access denied. This is how it will look like. And this is the user account or user content page. Okay, so this is basically how Webflow works. Okay, so all of them, okay, all of these things are made like pre-built. You're just gonna make some changes on them however you want them to look like. So now you know how Webflow works and how easy it is to make a website by using Webflow. And if you want to add in more, just click on new folder or new create new page, and you'll be able to add up more pages in your specific categories. Okay, so as this is the home, this is the home page, and then you have the other ones. So thank you for watching this video up till the end. In our next lesson, we're going to learn about style, settings, and interaction step by step. So let's move on to our next lesson. Welcome to the 8th lesson on Webflow. On the previous lessons from 1 to 7, we only learned about the functionality and also about the interface. Now we are going to learn about styles. Well, the styles is a very important function in Webflow. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson where we are going to learn about all the functionality or all the features and tools we have in the styles menu in Webflow. You can see the style panel is right over here. So why is this style panel used? It is located in the designer, is where you can control and style every element in the project. So the first thing we're going to do is add up a lot more elements and components in our website. Then, whether you want to change an element's layout, background color, or typography, you can do it all in the style panel. So we're going to do and edit all of the elements which we see in Webflow elements by using our style panel. We can also access our style panel by clicking on S. Let's say I'm going to go to settings, S. You can see the style panel has opened up. Now, another thing which I didn't show in the interface section was this designing tab or designing function. When you click on this, you'll be able to do 2 types of interface settings. One is for designing and one is only for editing. If you want to edit, you can just click on editing and edit them however you want. But if you want to do designing, click on designing, and then you'll be able to design or access the style panel according to your desire. In this designing panel or in the style section, the first thing we see is the body style. You can see create components. The selected item can't be turned into a component. So the selected item is the body. So I'm going to click on this navigation and go off the section. In our section, here we can create a component. Let's create a component. If you've seen our previous lesson, you already know how you can create a component. Click on create component. Let's name it to be, let's say, subheading. Press on create. Now you can see the subheading component has been created in our section. Now you're going to add in your ID. So if you want to add in your ID, so I'm going to do is for in page linking. So you can add in your ID and add in your tags. Let's say this is going to be the Navigator. So I'm going to tap in nav. And for our visibility and users accounts, we're going to make it visible so that other people can see it, and click on none. Then we have is custom attributes. You can add in custom attributes if you want to. Let's say this is going to be um photos, but in the value we're gonna put in 12. Photos equal 12. This is just an attribute, so they just, let's say this is just a comment so that other people can see it, or maybe even not. Okay, then we're gonna do is go off the styles as we're done with our subheading component. Then we have is create a class. What type of style do you want? Let's say a button primary to. So I'm gonna click on button primary to. So as I want it to be over here, then I want it to hover over that. So you can hover it over wherever you want. So this is the div block and this is the button to. So I'm gonna do is click on the page again and go off the styles. You can add in more class or more tags. That's totally according to your desire. I already have the menu bar, so I'm gonna do is mobile margin top 10. So I'm gonna add it up over here. And at the end, we're gonna apply our layout and display type. So this is the basic, which is going to be the block element start on a new line and take up the full available width. But if you want to add in this flex layout, okay, it's child elements on a horizontal or vertical axis. You can apply it like this too. So all of them are now vertical. Okay, then we have is this box or the grid, which helps you to place items within rows and columns. And then we have is inline block behaves like inline but accepts width and height properties. So you can apply it according to your desire. So you can apply in columns according to your desire. Let's say the gap should be 20 and the px over here should be, let's say, 30. Okay, hit on enter. You can see that it has been applied. Now let's go to column and it's also been applied. Now I'm going to add in one FR. Let's say I'm going to do is increase it a bit, 2, and this one should be a bit less. Okay, I'm going to keep it like this, auto fit. I'm going to do is go to minimum maximum. What I'm going to do is keep it something like this. The maximum should be something right over here. Okay, I'm going to just cut it up. If it doesn't look good, what you're going to do is click on dense, click on row and column, and then we're going to do is change it up how it was. Okay, I'm going to press on escape. As we're done, you can see how it looks like. But this button is right now over here because there are 2 rows. But if you don't want it to be like this, just press on Control and Z and you will see that it will be undone. See? That looks a lot more better, even though it is how it is. So the card is like this, and even though we still have our component over here. So that is basically how the display functions in Webflow. Then we have is the spacing tab. In our spacing tab, firstly we have the center elements horizontal. So select any of the item and then you're going to see that it will look like this. But if you do not, you will see this is how the spacing basically looks like. You can click on it and fix the size by typing in your data or keeping it on auto. Okay, but you can also change the ratio, overflow, and fit. So you can change it to something like this, or auto. And ratio, you're going to select whichever ratio you have. But most of the time I use anamorphic, or you can use widescreen, which I most of the time use, okay, because this is 16:9 ratio, which is most of the monitors these days, or TVs or displays these days, have 16:9. Okay, then we have other ones, which is fit. So if you want it to be fit or contain, that's according to your desire, but I'm going to suggest you to use fill so that it fills up most of the pages. Okay, now we're going to go through the other one, which you will be able to do by using this. Okay, I'm going to do is reduce it, and you have this margin option. You can edit in your margin just like this, drag it up and down. You can see how it works. I'm going to do is keep it somewhere around over here. You can keep it like this too. On this, you're going to fix it up just like this. And on this side, you're going to do the same thing on keeping -6 or add 6. Okay, on the right side too, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, reduce it or increase it. That's like totally up to you according to your desire. So I'm going to do is keep it somewhere around over here. Okay, I'm gonna do is keep it somewhere like this, so it looks the same on both sides. And then we have is this one. What we're gonna do is keep it somewhere around over here, and do the same thing on here. We're gonna end it up on 10px. Then on this one, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna drop it down a bit. Do the same thing on this one, and do the same thing on this one. I'm gonna do the same thing over here, and now we're done. So this is basically how you do the spacing. But if you want to fix the size, the width, the minimum width, maximum width, height, minimum height, maximum height, you can put it up according to your desire. And then we have is this overflow, which we already showed you, and also our position. Now let's go off the typography. Well, the typography is basically all about the text. So let's select any of this text first. You can see typography feature has now been enabled. First is going to be our Arial, or let's say the font. You can change up your font according to your desire. Let's say I'm going to use this impact. You can see now both of them are now of the same, let's say font. I'm going to click on it again. And then we're going to fix up the weight. Let's say I'm going to use extra bold. You can apply it if you want to. But if you don't want to, let's say I'm going to click on this again. Select on the weight, then you'll be able to change it. Okay, let's say I'm gonna select on it, select on other ones. Let's say I'm gonna do is keep it on exo. I'm gonna click on this, and now you have extra bold and totally black. Okay, all of them are according to what you basically see. So extra bold looks good. Now what I'm gonna do is fix up the size. You can change in the size to be, let's say, 40. You can see this is a lot more bigger. Then we have the height. Let's say I'm going to add in to be 30. You can see this is now 30. If you want to change the color, let's say I'm going to type in red. You can see red. If you want it to be blue, blue. If you want it to be amber, it's amber. Okay, there's no okay, I'm going to type orange. It's orange. So this is basically how it works. Let's say I'm going to type in neon green. It doesn't work like this. So I'm going to do is cut this off. And let's say I'm going to type in purple. Okay. So basically, however you change the edits, or maybe however you put in the data, you can also put in hex code if you want to. Now let's align it a bit. Let's say I'm going to align it to be at the center or left or right. Even though if it's not visible, the first thing I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this box. Click on settings. I'm going to do is hold on to it. I'm going to do is drag it a bit to the left side. You can see now feature is right over here. You can also press on Ctrl Z so that it looks like this. Okay. But if you don't want any of it, just press on Ctrl Z, and all of the edits which you did or which you've done will now get back to how it basically was. I'm going to select on all of it. I'm going to select on the whole thing. And then I'm going to do is go off to align. I'm going to align it in the center, or maybe on the right side, or maybe justified. And if you want to fix out your alignments, let's say I'm going to go off to home now, or maybe go off the dashboard. Okay. And then I'm going to go off make another text, or maybe open the designer and open another text, or apply in text to my new website, and then show you how this basically works. I'm going to add in a layout, and I'm going to go down, and here I'm going to go on features or gallery, just like I did on the first lesson. Let's say I'm going to put it something like this. Okay, now I'm going to do is select on this. I'm going to do select the whole thing. I'm going to align it to be on the left side, or maybe at the center, or the right. Even though if it doesn't work, I'm going to do is undo this whole process and add in another layout. Let's see to find another one which is not perfectly aligned. Okay, so I'm gonna do is get this one, which I used in the first lesson. Done. I'm gonna do is take this one, and I want to take the whole thing to be at the center. So I'm gonna justify at the center. You can see now it is in the center. I'm gonna take this one too, justify at the center. And if I want this part, let's say this is 1FR, I'm gonna click on done. I'm gonna select all of it. I want it to be on the right side. You can see now it is on the right. If you want to align it, you can keep it like this. So you have to first, if you want to align it, you have to select the part and then align it according to your desire, wherever you want. But if you want it to be auto, just press on X. Okay, now you know how you'll be able to align, justify. Okay, next thing we're going to learn about is the order, first or last. So when you press on first, it's going to give you this first. But if you press on last, this is going to be the last one. This is the first one, that's the last one. Okay, now this becomes the last and this becomes the first. So you can select any of the elements, and if you want that to be the last one, just click on last, it will become the last. But if you want that element to become the first, just click on first, and that element, even if it's the last, is gonna become the first. So we are almost done with typography. So other ones, we have styles. If you want to put it on italic, you can put it on italic. That's like totally up to you. Then we have is decoration according to your desire. Even though when you select on this text, you have this bold italic, then we have a superscript, subscript. If you know, or if you don't, let me just show it to you how superscript and subscript works. Let's say I'm going to type in H2O, right? But the 2 stays at the bottom, right? Or maybe at the top, but it stays at the bottom. So I'm going to do is to this, and you can see H2O. But if you want it to be at the top, let's say I'm going to do is 10 to the power X 24 or 27. Or I'm going to do is 10 to the power 2 into 27. Okay? So this is basically how it works. Okay? Now you know how subscript and superscript works. In our styles, we also have borders, which we didn't show or wasn't shown in the first one. If you want to put borders, top, left, right, and bottom, you can put it just like this. And if you want it boxed, it will be boxed. You can put in the radius of the border. Let's say I'm going to do is keep it like this. Okay? And go through each and every one according to your desire. This is the border section. But I'm going to go through the next one, which is going to be not typography. This is going to be the background. How do you want to change the background? You have more type options, which have letter spacing, text index, columns, and all of those. But you can go through them step by step. But if you want to add in text shadow and strokes, let me just show it to you. Click on them. I'm going to do is add in a bit of spacing first. And then we're going to add in columns. Then we're going to do is add in some breaking, break all. Then I'm going to do is add in direction. I'm going to do is pre-wrap. Okay. And then we have is wrap to be break word. Then I'm going to do is add in strokes. Let's say I'm going to do is type in 10. You can see all of them are now very thick. I'm going to do is type in 1. You can see very thick. And then we're going to add in the color. Let's say I'm going to type in red. Okay. But if you have the text, what I'm going to do is type in the text. So whenever we're going to use the text, I'm going to do is apply it to be a bit thicker, or maybe add in a bit more size. Let's say I'm going to do is type into it 20. Now you'll be able to see a bit maybe. So I'm going to do is increase the size a bit more. Let's say type in 50. Now you'll be able to see the stroke. Okay. So this is basically how it works. So now, as we're done with this stroke and the color, next one is text shadow. If you want to add in text shadow, click on this plus and then add in the shadow according to your desire. And fix it up, put in blur. Let's say I don't want any blur. We're going to fix it the angles. You can fix in distance, blur, and whichever color you want. Let's say I'm going to put in red. You can see red shadow. I'm going to do is type in blue. We're going to see blue shadow. Even though my eyes hurt a bit, but yeah, you can see now it looks like a bit of glow. So you're going to fix it up according to your desire and however you need. So we are done with this text option or typography. Then we have is this background. Okay, we don't have like a lot more. We're gonna cover all of them up. Okay, we have the background. If you want to add in background, just click on image or background, select whichever image or whichever color or gradient you want, and you'll be able to apply it. But if you want an image, click on choose image. Then I'm going to do is put in another photo, which I'm going to put in from my resource file. So here you can see my resource file. What I'm going to do is take this photo and upload it right over here. It will take a bit of time for it to upload. And as it has been uploaded, it will be directly applied to this page, as you can see from over here. This is not that visible, so I'm going to take another photo. I'm going to go off to and upload another photo. Let's say I'm going to just take this photo and apply over here. It's going to take a bit of a time to upload, and then I'm going to do is replace that photo. So I'm going to do is choose the image and customize it according to my desire. I'm going to fix the position, tile, and all of them. Okay, so I'm going to do is take this part. I'm going to do is choose photo, choose image, and I'm going to take this one, and you will see that photo will be applied directly on my web page. Okay, it's going to take a bit of a time to upload, even though it's not visible over here. I'm going to do is fix the width. I'm going to do is take it at the middle. Now you can see it is now of the middle part of this photo. If you want it to be on the right side of the photo, it is the right side. If you want it to be the center, it is like, you know, top center, but I want it at the middle. So this is basically how it will look like. So I can also use the bottom center. I'll keep it on the center. Okay, now you can also keep it fixed or not fixed. I prefer keeping it not fixed because, you know, sometimes if it's fixed, it just shows you the specific part, even if the page, you know, just ends or the resolution ends. So I'm going to keep it like this. And as we're done with this, so this is basically how it works. You can change the color, clipping, borders, effects, and all of those according to your desire. So let me just show you how you want that color to be. Let's say if you wanted blue, type in blue, and the borders will be blue. If you want clipping, you can clip background to padding. If it's all up to you. So this is the first part of, you know, the styles panel. And the next part, we're going to learn about all of the other effects or all of the other tools we have in our style panel. So let's move on to that lesson. Welcome to our 9th lesson on Webflow. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the settings panel in our designer settings and also our designer section in Webflow. So if you've learned about the previous lessons or seen the previous lesson, we've almost covered up all of the basic things we have in Webflow. So now, after this lesson, we're going to go through a couple of basic things, and later on, we're going to go or show you some of the projects and also cover up some class projects which you're going to see in this course. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson where we are going to learn about the settings panel and how those function in Webflow. Now, the first thing we're going to do is going to be opening up Webflow. And if you've seen my previous videos, you know that there are 2 websites which I've been working on, which is Top Notch Site and one is Ecommerce. The newest one is this, okay? And the previous one is this. Well, I'm going to be showing you both of these sites and how the settings panel differs from one another and how it works. So first thing I'm going to do is going to be opening up my recent one. In my recent one, there are a lot of things, but only all of them are text-based, okay? So right beside our style, we have our settings, and you cannot make any settings change without selecting any of these components or elements. First thing I'm going to do is select on this heading. Now, when I click on heading, you can see that there is this option over here. Well, when you click on this, you only see a short part of the settings over here. But when you click on the settings panel, you have an advanced or extended size of those settings over here on the right side of this panel in Webflow. So most common things you will find in all the settings of all elements is going to be ID and visibility. And you can also add in custom attributes. Except for that, you won't find any common things because all of them differ from one another. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to be make it visible or hidden. If you want the user or even the creators to see it when you are working with it, so make it visible. But if you don't want them to see that content or see that element in your website, just click on hidden and it will be hidden from the website or your web page. So this is basically how it works. Now we have is the heading type. You can see that H1 to H6 is available. If you are familiar with using HTML codes, then you already know how and where it is from. So H1 to H6 is basically the heading tag used in HTML. Well, H1 is the highest or the largest heading which you can see or which you will find in using HTML codes, and H6 which is the smallest. And you will not be able to add in any numbers above that, such as H7 or H10 and so on. So H1 is the largest and H6 is the smallest. Let me give you an example through it. Let me make it visible first. I'm going to click all of it. As you can see that I have selected that part, I'm going to triple click on it so that all of this has been selected. I'm going to click on H2. You will see it will reduce one by one as I go higher on the number. So I'm going to H3, H4, H5, and H6. And when I click on, let's say I'm going to click on it again, which is not working yet. You can see it is now getting smaller. But when I click on H1, it will not go any higher. But if you want it to be larger than that, what you're going to do is click on this text and then go to styles and then find out typography. If you've already seen my previous videos, you already know how to do that. Let me type in 50. Hit on enter. You can see now it is larger than how it was. So now you know how this works. Now, most of the stuff we have in this site are mostly text-based. So to show you other stuffs or other settings, we're going to go to our previous site, which I've shown you, which is something else. Okay, let me just go to dashboard or maybe click on your back key. And I'm going to go to e-commerce. Okay, I'm going to open up the designer. It will take a bit of time to load it up on my site or my web browser. Now you can see that we have photos, we have headings, we have nav bar, which is navigation menu, we have this button, we have cart, we have an instance subheading, which is also a component, and then we have a thumbnail. So we've already uploaded a couple of photos as our asset in our Webflow, right? So I'm going to open up this asset. You can see 3 of them are over here. So I'm going to do is click on this thumbnail option. Now you can see the settings are a bit different. So I'm going to click on the settings option. You can see beside ID, visibility, and also custom attributes, there are different things over here. We have group name, we have media, we have alt text, load, width, height, choose image, and all of those, which are different from the ones we saw in the text-based ones. So let's see on the navigation bar. When you click on navigation bar, we have a different one than image. Okay, we have navigation bar settings such as menu, type, easing open, easing close, duration, then menu icon for which device, and then custom attributes, right? Then I'm going to click on this button. I'm going to click on this button option. And when I click on button, I'm going to click on the settings. I'm going to go off the settings, and you have this link settings and preload, okay, which is a bit more different than the other two. And when we click on this image and go to settings, we're going to see something a bit more different, but the similar one as the thumbnail, because these boxes contain only images and the settings are basically the same. So let's start off with the first one, which is going to be our thumbnail, and we're going to add in a thumbnail. Okay, I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to choose an image. What I'm going to do is put any of the photos I have. Now you can see it has been selected. Now I'm going to do is click on this width. You can type in, let's say 10. You can see now this is very small right over here as this. Okay, I'm going to click on this, or if you can't click on it, just click on this image. And I'm going to do is go off the settings I'm going to click on this width. Let's say I'm going to type in 30, hit on enter, and see if it's visible. If it's still not visible, I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to type in 50, hit on enter, or maybe a bit more larger. Let's say I'm going to type in 80. Okay, now it's a lot more visible and a lot more better. Now, if you want to fix out the height, you can also do that. If you want to put in alt text, you can click on custom description, and that is it. And let's say this is a tree in black and white. Hit on enter, and loads on scroll. Okay, it's gonna load on scroll, or maybe defaults to browser. Okay, or maybe let's say I'm gonna click on this again. I'm gonna click on this, defaults to browser, loads with page. You can see over here. Now I'm gonna do is you can also replace it if you want to, but if you don't want to, you can keep it the way it is on default. Now, as we're done with image section, now what I'm gonna do is going to be showing you the navigation menu. In the navigation menu, you have this menu. So either you want to show or do you want to hide it. If you want it to show, just keep it to be show. I'm going to do is increase the size, and you can see this is the menu button. So if you want to hide it, you can keep it like this. When a person clicks on it, then they will see all of the tools or all of the buttons that appear according to this icon of menu. So I'm going to do is, most of the time I prefer it to be hide, but that's totally according to the website which I'm trying to build, because all of the websites have aesthetics, right? Now I'm going to do is type is drop down or overwrite. Now I'm going to do show. You can see all of them are on the right, but what I'm going to do is going to be drop down. So all of them drops down right over here. But what I'm going to do is going to be putting up right down over here. Okay, let me just press on Control Z and keep it the way it was. Okay, press on Control Z, press on Control Y. I'm going to do redo. Now I'm going to do is hide or show, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to do is keep it right above over here. I'm going to prefer it to be hide. And ease should be something like this. Okay, and whichever one you want, you can change it according to your desire. And even if you want to, let's say, create components, you can do that. That's like totally up to you. I'm going to prefer keeping it on the PC so that I can see the whole lot of things according to my desire. But if you keep it like this, it's going to look like this. And this is how the PC visualization or POV is. Okay, so now you know mostly about all the things. But if you add in more different type of, let's say, background video, as we have our background video, upload the video right over here. What I'm going to do is upload the video, and you'll be able to see. But you can see the settings are a bit different. So upload video is over here. Except for that, there is nothing different either than the other ones. So now you know about the settings panel in Webflow. In our next lesson, we're going to learn about interactions and how those basically work. And after that, we're going to show you a couple of things which you can do to make your Webflow or the usage of Webflow a bit more fluent, and then make a couple of projects of this specific course. And then we're going to show you about some class projects which will help you to get more proficient and efficient while using Webflow. So thank you for watching this video up till the end. Now let's move on to our next lesson, where we're going to learn about the interactions panel. Welcome to our 10th lesson on Webflow. In this lesson, we're going to go through interactions panel, which is the last functionality in Webflow. And other than that, we have covered almost all of the things, or almost all of the panel, almost all of the tools Webflow has to offer. After this, we're going to go through different projects and show you how things can be done very efficiently and also make your work a lot more easier. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson of Webflow. In our previous lesson, we've learned about the settings panel, and also we are still using the same panel or same layout and also the same site which we've used in our previous lessons, which is e-commerce. but you can put up or use any of the website or any new site which you are making on. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to be going on interactions and open it up. You can also open it up by using H. Click on H on your keyboard and you can see it appears on the right side of this panel. Now, let's make element trigger. When an element has been triggered, it's going to do one of the actions according to your need. So click on this, such as on hover or click. So I'm going to do is click on any of the one. Now you can see select an element on the canvas, then click plus above to animate the selected element when a user interacts in such a way. So I'm going to click on this plus, and what I'm going to do is scroll into view. Now what is it going to do? So the action is going to be, it's going to grow. So when a person clicks on it, it will grow. Well, the interactions panel is a very interesting part, or a very interesting, let's say, functionality Webflow has to offer. It contains a lot of pre-built actions which you can just apply without applying any codes or any programming which you need to do, or do the work like outside of the software and then apply directly over here. So it saves up a lot of time while using Webflow and decorating or maybe making a website. So the first thing what you're going to do is going to offset is going to be something like this. The delay is going to be a bit, and it's going to grow out or maybe grow in. Okay, let's just say grow big. Now what I'm going to do is going to be click on preview. Now when it's clicked on, let's say, where do I find it? So I'm going to do is click on it, and this is basically visible most of the time. So I'm going to do is show. Okay, this is visible. I'm going to click on this panel and see if it works. Okay, it takes a bit of a time sometimes to be visible, or even when you play or click on this. I'm going to do is click on this. Okay, as this is offline, I'm going to do is take it right around over here, and this is going to be visible. So I'm going to first off, I'm going to do is select on this interaction, grow big. Now I'm going to do is offset is going to be something like this. The delay is going to be 0, and I'm going to get a preview. Okay, so this is the preview. This is how it will grow up. Now you can also select more, let's say fade. Let's get a preview of that. You can also use other ones. Let's say I'm going to do is click on bounce and plus on preview. This is how it works. Now when scrolled out of view, what is it going to do? So first thing I'm going to do is going to be, let's say this is going to be something like this. And let's say I'm going to keep it somewhere around like this. Now, when you go up and press on this, it's going to act as a trigger. Well, most of the time when you are in this, okay. Then we have is this page trigger. So I'm going to click on page trigger or element. Let's say click on this page trigger. Now, how will it work? Mouse view on viewpoint, action it up, play mouse animation. So like this, and after you're done, just press on enter, and then you're good to go. Okay, so other than that, you don't have any other work according to that, or any other work except for that in interaction. And it is very simple to do and very simple to work with Webflow and on this interaction panel. Okay, so you have two different things on interactions. Well, and interactions, all of the interactions are going to be different on each element. So don't expect to see all of the elements or all of the interactions such as triggers on the thing. You know, you might see that now it is like empty, but you don't have to worry because it has been applied on the specific element or specific item or content in your website. So hope you understood everything about this lesson in Webflow, and hope to see you guys in our next lessons of Webflow. Welcome to our project on how to make a simple e-commerce site by using Webflow. So the first thing we're going to do is going to be open up Google Chrome or any web browser you have. And the first thing I'm going to search for is webflow.com. So as I open up Webflow, I'm going to open up that interface. And then what we're going to do is remove the websites we had used in our lessons of Webflow. Okay, and then open up a new site, which is going to be our e-commerce site. As this is an e-commerce site, what we're going to do is going to be first off removing them and then add in a couple of things which we used in our previous lesson. Okay, and then also add in a couple more of them, or a couple more functionality which we have or Webflow has to offer. So I'm going to do is remove them to e-commerce, Control C, Control V, and then delete forever. Even though I did not cover up any of this place or any of this interface Webflow has to offer. So first off, we have is this all site, which is over here on your dashboard. Then we have is tutorials, which is also known as the Webflow University, or which is more specifically the CMS University of Webflow, which you can also get all the guides of how to use CMS, which is Content Management System. At the bottom, we have General. In our General, you can go through a couple of these settings, such as Uploads, Default Workspace, and Public Workspace Profile, and also name your workspace. Then we have is this Team. Well, the team basically has whom you give the access or permission to work on it aside you. Then we have is the plans. In your plans, you'll be able to buy or subscribe to any of the subscription which you have on your Webflow. Okay, you can select any one of them according to your desire and according to your need. You can see build monthly, then we have a starter, and then we have is this core, growth, and enterprise. Then we have is for freelancer and agencies. There is a whole different section for them, and it is much cheaper. But for in-house, it's a bit more expensive because you get more users and more functionality to offer. But what happens in agencies and freelancing is that either it gets used by a single person or 2-3 person. Okay, then we have is go to billing. In the billing, you can fix in invoice settings if you are using an e-commerce site, just like we are going to use in this website. Is that you will see that there are a couple of these things which you will find about the payment method and all about the e-commerce. Then we have is apps and integration. You can connect your account or Webflow to any of these websites or any of the apps which you want to connect to, so that you can get more functionality and add in more functionality to your Webflow and also work with them with ease. Then at the last, we have templates. In the templates section, you'll be able to find out whichever type of template you want and also redeem whichever template you have bought or used or want to use. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is click on all sites and start building a site in Webflow. But first things first, we have this marketplace too. In this marketplace, you will find overview, libraries, apps, hire an expert, templates, and made in Webflow. You can see how people work in Webflow by clicking on made in Webflow. You'll find a lot of these websites what people like made, and also see them by clicking on view details. You'll be able to see how it basically looks like and how people actually made that site using Webflow. Some of them will be a bit complex and some of them will be not. Okay, you can see this as a portfolio which Webflow is, advertising. You can also find similar templates according to that. You can see this is quite basic, but even though being basic, it fills up your criteria and also fills up your need, right? I'm gonna go off to this website again, and you can view whichever one you want. And also, it has categories similar to other websites, and also it has a lot of functionality to offer. Okay, we're gonna cut this off. I'm gonna go off my marketplace, and if you want to hire any expert, just click on this marketplace section, and then you'll be able to hire in any expert so that they can help you with your project or with your website which you are trying to build. Okay, so let's click on hire an expert, and you will find out that it brings out freelancers or experts so that they can help you. You can get matched, or you can also browse experts if you want to. You can fiddle with them and get most of its functionality by fiddling through the whole, let's say, the interface. Then we have is learn, which you'll be able to learn all about Webflow. And then we have is resources. What type of resources does Webflow offer? It offers community, ebooks, forum, blogs, and then support. Support helps you go directly to Webflow builders and managers also, so that they can help you to get most of your needs, or if you're going through a problem, you can ask them and get or write a report, or maybe even ask them how to do stuff. Okay? And even though if you're watching this video, and also if you fall into some hassle, so please let us know and we will guide you through the whole process of how to fix up problems and stuff. Now the first thing to open up a new e-commerce site is going to be clicking on new site. And the first thing you're going to do is going to be, let's say, find out something similar to e-commerce. So I'm going to go down and you can see that besides free, you will find a lot of these templates, which are, kind of like, expensive, and also a couple of them are free. Why are they expensive? A couple of them are expensive because these are pre-built templates so that you can use according to your desire, saving up a lot of time. But as this is how you can build a specific or a simple e-commerce site, so we're going to go through them from scratch. And this video will be like differentiated or separated in two different sections. First is going to be just building it up, and the next one we're going to be customizing it according to your need. So hope to see you in this full lesson or this whole project. And if you feel like you are facing some problems, please let us know. Now the first thing we're going to do is find out something which is similar to e-commerce and how we'll be able to use it as a free one. So first things first, what you're going to do is go at the top. You can see these are the portfolios, business starter and store starter. You can use this. This is quite simple and also very useful. But if you want a bit more, you can go through like this and find out the free templates. You can also click on view all and find out the category, whichever one you want. So the first one we want is going to be e-commerce, right? So among the e-commerce, you will find out a lot of these templates to use. So find out the one according to your need. You can see a couple of them are retail, coffee shop, whichever one you want. Now what I'm going to do is going to be finding something e-commerce or business, because both of them are quite similar. Okay, so we're going to start up something. Let's say I'm going to do is, let's find out business. Okay, so you can see a couple of them business related. So I'm going to do is select this one because this one looks a lot more attractive. Now what I'm going to do is click on this use for free. Okay, now when I click on use for free, you're going to name your site. Let's say I'm going to click on this. I'm going to do is remove it. I'm going to name my site. Let's say business for e-commerce. Now click on create site. It will take a bit of a time for it to make it up on your Webflow and visualize it or appear in your screen as an interface. Okay, so we're going to wait a bit until all of them is rendered on your PC and on your screen. Now, you can see that it is rendered on your screen. Now, the first thing you have to learn about these type of sites is that you are going to see that how convenient it is. Okay, the more convenient it is, the more you will get users or visitors on your website. As you can see at the top, we have this, navigation bar. You can see nav inner. And if you want to see all the elements, just click on this option. You can see body. We have this hero, and hero we have our nav bar, right? And then we have is this section. So the section part contains arrow, hero content, and also hero image, which is this one. But we're going to change it up according to our desire. Then we have is this section again. Another section contains wrapper and also a wrap, right? Now, what we're going to do is going to be selecting on section. In our section, we have feature wrap, then we have feature wrap, another one. You can see a couple of these feature wraps are available. But eventually, in this feature wrap, you can find out columns, right? We have 3 columns. So how is this put? When you go to this elements, you will find out a couple of these things. If you've seen our previous lesson, you already know how to make them. So first off, select the ones which you want to use. Now, what if I want to change them? You don't have to worry. Just select on the text and remove them. Now, how is this being put on our site or our page? First off, click on this navigation bar and you will be able to see hero subhead. And where is this hero subhead? First off, click on elements and then you will find out hero subhead. Find out the hero subhead and then apply it according to your desire, right? And then you can put in also input. So the input section is right at the bottom. You can see enter your email. This is an input section. And this is a button. Why is this a button? Because this is going to contain your action. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson and let's start off from scratch. Let's go off the dashboard and then make up a really simple one. So first I'm going to click on new site and then I'm going to find out the one which is going to be business or business starter, whichever one you prefer. So I'm going to use this one because this contains a lot more, let's say, content in it. So how are you going to start it? So first things first, you're going to start up heading. Then you're going to start up with your body by adding in section. Then you're going to start up doing a lot of stuff which you have in Webflow. So first things first, I'm going to do is open up another, let's say, tab and see how it basically works. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to open up the other template or other site we have over here. So I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this business for e-commerce and we're going to start up the same thing by doing the same thing we have over here. Okay, we're going to wait a bit. So what do you see in the first line or the first thing we have is this nav bar, right? So in this nav bar, what we're going to do is going to be putting in our nav bar, which is already put, and this is termed as a component. What we're going to do is delete it as we don't need it. So I'm going to do is click on add elements. I'm going to add in a section and then we're going to put in our nav bar. Well, a nav bar, you're going to find it right at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to do is go through each and every one of them. And you can see in the advanced, we have is this nav bar, right? You can see the nav bar is now at the bottom. What we're going to do is going to be dragging it up at the top and then placing it in such a way so that it looks a lot more better, right? So I'm going to do is put it right above here. Okay, the nav bar link cannot be placed in a link. So I'm going to do is drag it a bit down. Okay, now you can see this is how it will look like. I'm going to go off to over here. I'm going to do is, where's this nav bar? I'm going to drag it right at the top. See, this is how you are going to do it. Eventually, if it doesn't work the way you want to do it by dragging it on your screen, it might not work sometimes because it will show you a couple of errors. But if you don't want to face those errors, what you're going to do is just go off to your navigator and drag it up according to your desire. Now, as we already have our nav bar, what we're going to do is need a brand. So we're going to pop in or upload a brand which we can use in our website. So the first thing we're going to do is going to be clicking on assets. When I click on assets, what we're going to do is going to be clicking on upload. You can see a couple of these resources are over here. I'm going to do is use this photo. Now, when I use this photo, I'm going to click on it. It's going to update it up. And the next thing I'm going to do is going to be uploading that thing right over here on brand. Then we're going to do is fix out this background. We're going to put in similar or something similar to that. We can also remove this button or text block. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is going to be wait. I'm going to do select on this, click on settings, and I'm going to do is select a photo. You can see a brand logo over here. I'm going to double click on it and go off to settings. Now in the settings, I'm going to do is going to be adding in a photo. And how will you add a photo? So I'm going to do is wait a bit. I'm going to click on assets. You can see it has been over here and I'm going to drag it up right over here. And you can see it will appear in just a moment. Okay. And even though we're going to wait a bit and you can see this is being loaded and when it appears up, we are good to go. Okay. Then we're going to do is apply another photo over here. We have this photo over here. I'm going to do is click on show, right? Which is show right over here. Click on hide if you want to make it hide. So I'm going to do is going to be clicking on container. I'm going to do is click on this PC settings. I'm going to do is take this container over here. And where is our brand logo? I'm going to do is take this up a bit at the bottom. You can see this is basically how it will look like. Now I'm going to do is going to be reducing the photo size so that it matches up with our logo. So I'm going to do is go a bit at the top. Keep it somewhere over here. Okay, Now we have our photo right over here. And if you want to put in or maybe add in an alt text, just click on the settings and put in your alt text however you want. Let's say brand logo. Enter. And we're good to go. This is our brand logo. This is our menu. Now what we're going to do is click on this, go off to our settings, our styles, and then find out the background section. And our background section we're going to do is remove this. What we're going to do is add an image or gradient. Click on this plus sign. What we're going to do is choose image. Okay. Then we're going to do is upload another photo over here. Now I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this upload. And you have this photo over here. I'm going to do is take it up and then use it as my background photo. You can see now it is being placed. I'm going to do is going to be fixing out this, resolution or wherever it is. I'm going to do is keep it at this center. And now you can see we have our photo at the center, right? Then I'm going to do is going to be clicking on the color if you want to fix out your transparency. Okay. We have this logo. We have this photo. This is your space. Now you have two of these paragraph light, but both of them are in a column or a section. You can remove it and also place it up according to your desire. What if you want more? Just click on this option. I'm going to do is going to be placing another area or selecting on this, and you can see another one has appeared over here. Now what I'm going to do is going to be clicking outside of it. I'm going to copy this whole thing, Control A, Control C. I'm going to do is select on this. I'm going to do is click on plus, area 2. I'm going to do is select outside. I'm going to do is click on this elements. I'm going to do is select in paragraph. See, this is basically how it works. Now, if you want to fix out more of this, just click on bold or maybe color it up according to your desire. I'm going to do is make it bold, all of them, and this looks a lot more better. Okay, so we have our section. We have our nav bar as our menu. I'm going to do is click on OK, got it. And if you want to make it to be hide, you can just hide it up according to your desire. Now we have is this heading 1 and this paragraph bigger. So what if I want to make it a bit more bigger? So I'm going to do is go off the settings of this heading, select on this, and I'm going to make it H1. Now you can see in the audits, there is no red anymore. So all of the issues have been fixed. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on these. I'm going to do is fix on product image wrap. We're going to put 3 different photos on 3 different ones. Okay. So I'm going to do is upload 3 more photos and apply 3 more photos over here. So I'm going to go off to asset. And I'm going to click on over here. I'm going to click on upload and you have these photos over here. So I'm going to do is click on 1, 2, and I'm going to find out another one. Click on open and 3 of them will be uploaded in just a moment. Okay, we're going to wait until all of them are done. Then I'm going to do is drag each and every one of them according to my desire. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is going to be clicking on each and every one. Let's say simplicity. So it's going to go up over here. And this is basically how it will look like. Okay, so I'm going to do is keep it just like this. Then I'm going to do is click on it. Click on settings. I'm going to do is fix the height. Let's say 500. Okay, I'm just going to keep it like this, 500. And I want to change this one to be a bit more different. So I'm going to do is replace image. Okay, you can also replace it. You can also drag different ones. Let's say I'm going to do is keep this one over here. I'm going to do is take this photo. I'm going to take this one and keep it on asset. Drag this photo over here. You can see now 2 of them are now 2 different photos. So I'm going to do is click on this, click on settings. I'm going to click on this and type in auto. You can see this is how it will look like, but I'm going to do is add in another one. Let's say I'm going to drag this up over here and you will find out 3 photos over here. So I'm going to do is take this photo. I'm going to do is click on height and reduce it. Let's say I'm going to type in 200 or maybe type in, let's say 300. It's a lot more better. Let's type in 500. Okay, it needs to be a bit more bigger. 600 looks a lot more better. Let's say I'm going to type in 500. Yes, a lot more better than how it actually was. So now we have all 3 of them. And we're gonna do is put on this settings monthly newsletter, you can see over here, and we're gonna put in our, let's say we have our text 2 at the end. So I'm gonna do is going to be keeping it up just like this. Okay, as we have 3 of them just like this, obviously you're gonna need another section. So I'm gonna do is going to be taking this a bit at the bottom. So here what we're gonna do is going to be adding in another section. So I'm gonna do is add another section, which we have over here. In our section, what we're gonna do is open up our Navigator, and we're gonna keep this over here. And in our section, we're gonna do is put in, let's say I'm gonna put in a couple of text paragraph. We're gonna put in separated ones first. We're gonna put in a column. You can see columns on each one. So I'm gonna do is keep it up just like this. So we have columns on each one. Now I'm gonna do is going to be awesomeness, directness. I'm gonna do is drag it up right at the bottom and see product name. I'm gonna do is going to be taking up the text over here. I'm gonna do is turn it to be black, even though if it's not visible. So I'm gonna do is take all of these up. You can see over here, also over here, and all of them are now over here, but they are not visible. So I'm gonna do is click on this plus or element. I'm gonna do is going to be product price, right? I'm gonna do is go on styles, and I'm gonna go over here and change them to be black. You can see now all of them are black, so I'm gonna select on them too and click on them and type in black. You can see now all of them are now visible. Awesomeness, directness, and simplicity, all of them all together. Now what we're gonna do is going to be, as we have our newsletter or our button, which we have as a component. So a component is basically a pre-built item or element already built. So if you want to make it yourself, what you're going to do is going to be removing it, and we're going to make it ourselves. I'm going to click on elements, and we're going to make in our section right over here. We're going to click on Navigator, our section right over here, and keep it right at the bottom or at the top. Where is our section now? I'm going to do select on the section where we have right over here. Now, as we have our section over here, what we're going to do is going to be like dragging it a bit at the bottom. Okay, eventually if it is, I'm going to do is take it a bit at the bottom. You can see just like this. I'm going to use press on Control Z. And now we have our section. So I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to type in something. So I'm going to do is go off the Navigator. Use text block, you can see right over here. Okay, as there are no items, so I'm going to do is press on Control Z again. And we're going to do is remove this Control X. We're going to keep it just the way it is. Now I'm going to do is click on element again. I'm going to put in, let's say, first off, add in your section. First off, add in a container. As we have our container over here, we're going to put in, let's say, click on plus again. We're going to put in our heading. Okay, we have put in our heading. Let's say this is going to be our heading. Let's type in newsletter. I'm going to select on all of it. I'm going to do is keep it at the center. And I'm going to do is clicking on this, hit on enter. We're going to put in our, let's say, form. Okay, add in this. I'm going to do is click on section or select. But first thing we're going to do is going to be putting in our form. Okay, so that I can put in my input. As this cannot be put in this, I'm going to do is click on plus and add in our form. At first, we have our form right over here. And in our form, what we're going to do is going to be removing this one and also removing this one. We're going to take this button right over at the center, select on this. I'm going to do is put it at the center. Okay. Just like this, email address, your email address. I'm going to just type in your email address. Now, as this has been put, I'm going to do select the whole thing all together. I'm going to do is keep it at the center. Take it right over here if possible. You can see it is at the top, so I'm going to do is keep it at the bottom, obviously. Then I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this, click on section. I'm going to click on show all settings. And you're going to make it visible or not if you want to. Then I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this option again. And then I'm going to do is add in success message, which you have over here. And then I'm going to do is click on audits, missing all text. So I'm going to do is click on each and every one. I'm going to do is add an alt. Okay, if you want to, but that's like totally up to you. Then I'm going to do is clicking on this element again and add in another section. So we're going to put in this section at the bottom. Now I'm going to be taking that at the bottom. Let's say I'm going to take this section right at the bottom. You can see now the section is at the bottom. So I'm going to do is just paste it up. You can see now we have our last section of, as our footer instance. Okay, you can also apply it up according to your desire, whichever one you want. You can see this is all for footer links, and how you'll be able to add in links is click on elements, and then you're going to go down and find out text link. So when you click on this links, it's going to take you up to another website, right? Now after you're done, you're going to see all the previews of how it basically looks like, featured products. You can see it like this, awesomeness. Then we have directness. Then we also have simplicity. Okay, and if you want it to be available on one side, you can also remove them. Let's say I removed one. Now the first thing I'm going to do is going to be making them different. Okay, so first I need awesomeness, right? So I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this, right click. I'm going to go off the settings, and then I'm going to do is first off take this whole thing. Then I'm going to do is go off the whole settings and then fix it up according to my desire. Then I'm going to do is going to be fixing this box. Okay, I'm going to do is take this up. I'm going to do is, let's say, go off the settings, fix on auto. Let's say I'm going to type in width to be 600. Let's type in 700. And over on height, I'm going to type in 1000. Or maybe a bit low. 800, and this one should be somewhere around 900. Okay, now as we have ours, what we're going to do is select on the settings again, and as this is something else, I'm going to do is going to be loads, show all settings. You can go through these settings. I'm going to do is get BG image from products, get BG color from this, and from this. Okay, as all of them are quite the same, so I'm going to do is going to be try removing one of them. And when you remove one, you can see all of them are removed at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to keep it just the way it was at the beginning. Okay, we have 3 of the images right now. But if you want to use, like, let's say individual ones, what you're going to do is remove them. Remove, 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 remove. And then we're going to do is going to be removing these ones too. So let's say I'm going to do is remove one of them. As you can see that all of them has been removed, I'm going to go off the PC. I'm going to do is adding an image section. First off, I'm going to do is add in a section where we will be able to use that. I'm going to do is take it up at the bottom, like top, featured products. And then what we're going to do is going to be clicking on this add elements and then make a column first. So I'm going to do is find out the column, our grid. Let's say I'm going to add in column. I'm going to add in 3 columns for 3 featured products. In the first column, I'm going to add in a photo. And click on this. I'm going to do is add in an image. Right? As we have our image, I'm going to do is choose an image. I'm going to do is use this photo. You can see. And the second one, I'm going to use another one. Let's say I'm going to click on this asset again. I'm going to use this photo. Second one is going to contain this photo. And a third one, which we have column 3, I'm going to add in this asset again. I'm going to do is apply this photo. Now we have 3 different photos for 3 different ones. So I'm going to do select on the settings. And then you have his image is HDPI. Now I'm going to do is going to be clicking on, let's say, I'm going to find out this ratio first and then use this one too at the same time. So first off, I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this. And I'm going to click on, let's say I'm going to type in 500. Okay, I'm going to keep it on auto. Over here, I'm going to do is type in 500. Or maybe let's use a landscape photo so that it fills up this area. I'm going to remove it and upload another asset. Click on this asset and then I'm gonna upload another photo. Let's say I'm gonna find the one which I want. Let's say I'm gonna use this one. It's gonna upload it up in a while, and then I'm gonna do is just apply it to our second column. And then we're gonna put in another section so that we can use that, you know, awesomeness and all of that. Okay, simplicity and all of that all together. So now it is a bit bigger. So as we've done, so I'm gonna do is click on this plus again. I'm gonna add in another section. You can see the section is at the bottom. So I'm gonna do is take it up at the top. You can see the section is here right now. So I'm gonna do is make some columns. Click on plus. I'm gonna do is click on the column section. I'm gonna do is make, let's say, three for three different parts. So I'm gonna do is type in a text. On the first one, we're gonna put in, let's say, paragraph. I'm gonna do is remove it. Let's type in awesomeness or whatever text you want to put, and click on this. Click on this. Okay, I'm gonna put in alt on all of them, and then later on I'm gonna change it up. Click on elements. Click on paragraph. Now I'm gonna do is, let's type in awesomeness. And I'm gonna do is select on it, go off the styles, and fix out your font, whichever one you want. So I'm gonna do is use, let's say, Lato. I'm gonna do is remove it. Let's say I'm gonna type in sports. The last one, simplicity. I'm gonna take all of them together and fix out the fonts. Let's say I'm gonna use 40. I'm gonna do is keep it at the center. You can see the simplicity. Type in 30. Do the same thing, 30, and keep it at the center. We're good to go. The last one, we're going to do the same thing. Center, we're going to put in 30. Now we're good to go. That looks a lot more better, okay? So now you can see that this is basically a cart type of, let's say, website for your e-commerce, right? So this is basically how you make a simple e-commerce site by using Webflow. But if you have more creativity on you, or if you want to build more, you can just continue doing this, but you just have to follow these basic steps. And if you want to like do it a bit more perfectly, just go off to audits and fix in your alt text and whatever it is guiding you to. And then you will get that there will be no issues found. And after you're done, just go through other panels or other type of POVs which you can find. I'm gonna do is go through them too. Featured products, and we're gonna go through them. You can see all of them are right over here. So hope you understood everything about this lesson or everything about this project and how to make an e-commerce site by using Webflow. And if you think you fell into some trouble or facing some hassle, please let us know and we will guide you through the whole process. And thank you for watching this video up till the end. Welcome to our second project on how to make a simple portfolio site. So before learning or before going into our lesson of portfolio site, we have to learn about what a portfolio site is. Well, basically, a portfolio site or portfolio website is a curated online space that showcases your best works. It's one of the most practical and memorable ways to share your work with press, potential collaborators, or employers. Much like your PDF portfolio, a portfolio website can be used when applying for jobs or internships. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson where we are going to learn about how to make a simple portfolio site. So we are going to go to our site of www.webflow.com and then open up our dashboard. As you can see, my previous project is right over here. So now this is not going to be an e-commerce site. So what I'm going to do is going to be making up, let's say, a portfolio site. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to be going off to our marketplace and then select on templates, as we're going to need a portfolio site. So you can search it from over here. So I'm going to do search for portfolio, and it's going to show me a lot of these portfolios which I can use, but I'm going to use the free one. So you're going to go a bit like down. When you go down, you will find a couple of templates which are going to be free. Okay, even though if you don't find them, what you're going to do is going to be going on, let's say, I'm going to do is go back, and then I'm going to go down, and you will find a couple of, templates which are going to be free. So I'm going to do is go down, and you can see, check out our free website templates. So from here, you're going to find something which is of the category portfolio. You can see retail, fitness, restaurant, fashion. You can see portfolios. You can see also coffee shop, business, retail, and all of those. Browse all free templates. And from the free templates, we're going to find our portfolio. Let's say I'm going to type in portfolio, hit on enter. You'll find a lot of portfolios which are basically free. Now from here, we're going to start on, or maybe select on any one of them. Let's say I'm going to do is select on the free ones only. So I'm going to do is find out the free ones. You can use these ones too if you want to, but if you don't want to, just go back again and find out portfolio. Let's say I'm going to do is use any of the one which I find to be, kind of good looking. So you can see fashion, business, and Webflow, blog, startup, portfolio. Okay, we found our portfolio. You also have this tile design, which is also portfolio. This is also portfolio. So I'm going to use only the portfolio ones, but if you find anything better, obviously try using it because it's going to contain a lot of elements. Okay, you can see these two are basically really nice. So I'm going to do is select any one of them. I like this color, so I'm going to do select this one. I'm going to do is click on use for free, or you can also preview it if you want to. Let's say Nagasaki's, let's say portfolio, head on create site, and then it will take a bit of a time for it, or for Webflow, to render all of the details and all of the graphics it has in this portfolio or template. Okay, now you can see that there are a couple of these elements, but first things first, all of the websites contain this nav bar at the top with its logo, right? So I'm going to do is going to be keeping this just the way it is, but the thing which is advanced or a bit different over here is the links are at the top, which is Facebook and also Twitter, but these are images. But even though these are images, these are termed to be as nav links. You can see nav link. This is also a nav link. So when a user, I'm going to click on this. When a user clicks on this, it will take them directly to Webflow facebook.com. See, this is like very useful. So we're going to do something similar to that. You can see when I click on this, it will take me directly to Twitter Webflow app, right? You can see it has taken me directly to their, Webflow over here. So I'm going to do is make them just the way it is. And you can see how it basically works. See, it's quite simple to work with this. And there's also this animation. So I'm going to be showing you how you'll be able to build something similar to this. I'm going to do is add another tab, search for webflow.com. And then I'm going to do is first off, remove the first website I have. I'm going to do is click on view dashboard. I'm going to do is remove the first one, which I already have, portfolio. And I'm going to do is remove the super site. I'm going to do is click on delete, copy this one. Just copy, Control C, paste it, delete forever. And then I'm going to do is make something similar to that. I'm going to do is click on new site. And I'm going to do is try on keeping it to be portfolio. So I'm going to do is portfolio free. I'm going to do is just click on this. And it will take a bit of a time for it to, you can see upgrade to plan, upgrade plan. You can see templates just like this. You can see upgrade to plan. Why is it upgrade to plan? Because I have reached up my amount of using portfolios. Okay, so I'm going to do is go back and use whichever one you want. Okay, I'm going to do is going to be refreshing it and see. Okay, just I'm going to refresh it and you will see that it has been selected. I'm going to do is going to be Nagasaki's cool site. I'm going to do is portfolio, create. And it's going to take me a bit of a time for it to render up the same thing right over there. You can see it is being made. You can see both of them are Nagasaki's portfolio. Even though this is just pre-built, I'm going to go through other previews of how it actually looks like. You can see now this is hidden, but if I go to PC, you can see these are now visible. The first thing I'm going to do is going to be keeping it just the way it is. But first things first, I'm going to do is keep the portfolio just like this. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to do is add in a name. I'm going to do is, let's say, keep it just the way it is, as this is just a photo, which is named portfolio. But you can also add in text if you want to. So for that purpose, I'm going to keep that to be portfolio. Now the first thing is that I'm going to change these a bit. Okay, I'm going to change this style. Let's say home. I'm going to do is change the font on them. I'm going to go down on typography and find out the ones which I basically want. Let's say I'm going to use something a bit more, something like this, or maybe change one or better. You can also add in fonts if you want to. I'm going to use Lato on all of them. Use Lato. I use is bold it up a bit. I'm going to go off to Lato. Do is bold it up a bit. I can see both, all of them looks a bit more different. When I click on this, you can see the menu bar is right over here, right? So this is the bar. I'm going to do is click on this. Now what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this and making this to be a bit bigger. Or if it's just this, I'm going to do select on this first. And this is just a text name. So I'm going to do is remove it. I'm going to do select on elements. I'm going to do is add in heading. You can see now this is the heading. So I'm going to do is select on this. And I'm going to do is, let's say Jacob Embro. Do select on this. Make it to be a bit bold. I'm going to do is what your, let's say, product designer. Okay, this is what it is. Now I'm going to do is go to another website. I'm going to do is type in random project generator and generate anything. Okay, so I'm going to do Webflow Essential. Now I'm going to do is type in current town or city. Let's say I'm going to type in, let's say, Sydney. Generate my project. Now you can see this is you've been asked to design one-page website for your Sydney walking club. They need a simple website to post their upcoming events. We can retry it if you want to. So now you can see Fishing Club. They need a simple website to post their upcoming events, past events, and sponsors. Ideal customer is a woman named Mia. Mia is the early 50s. They live locally and need a quick way to upcoming events. Okay, as we have it over here, we can put up named Mia, but that's like totally up to you. So designer based on sunny San Francisco, CA. So I'm going to do is instead of that, San Francisco, Sydney, AUS. We're good to go. Now I'm going to add in portfolio project 1, project 2, project 3, and project 4. As you can see right over here. Okay. So, like a couple of them right over here. You can see these links too. Okay. We're going to put in that link over here at the same time. So first off, I'm going to do is going to be, we're going to keep this. Okay. But first things first, I'm going to do is put in my projects. And these are work images. So we're going to put in a couple of work images and click on our asset and upload a couple of them. I'm going to click on this asset. I'm going to click on upload. What I'm going to do is upload whichever photos I want. Let's say I'm going to use this. We're going to find out other ones, this, and also this. I'm going to click on open. And 4 of those images will be uploaded right over here. You can see 4 of them are being uploaded. Then I'm going to do is going to be pasting each one of them on each work image. Okay, so I'm going to do is take this one and drag it out right over here. You will see that it will look like this. I'm going to do is reduce the size. Just keep it somewhere around over here. Okay, we can also take this right over here. It looks a lot more better if it's like small. Right? So I'm going to do is take this, remove it. I'm going to press on Control Z. Okay, if it isn't visible, so I'm going to click on Asset again. I'm going to take this up right over here. Okay, I'm going to just remove it, delete, Control Z. I'm going to just click on this work image and click on Assets. Drag it right at the top. You can see it will look like this. I'm going to click on this auto. Type in, let's say, width to be 500. Or maybe let's say type in 800. Looks a lot more better. Height to be somewhere around, let's say, 600 should be quite perfect, right? Yes, 600 is quite perfect. Project 1 or project 2. The next thing I'm going to do is click on asset again. What I'm going to do is drop down this one, work image. You can see basically this is how it will look like. So I'm going to do is reduce the size a bit. What I'm going to do is align it. Okay, this looks a lot more better too. It doesn't look that bad. Control Z. What I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this image. What I'm going to do is fix out the width. Type in 1000. My bad, 1000 should it be. Or maybe let's type in 1200. Okay, it looks a lot more better. Let's do is type it to be 800. Okay, 800 is like this. I'm going to type in 600. I'm going to type in 400. Okay, let's type in 500. Looks a lot more better. And perfectly, okay, perfectly balanced. Now I'm going to do the next one. So I'm going to click on asset again. I'm going to put in this one. Okay, let me just first off take this up right over here. I'm going to press on Control Z. Select on this work image first. And then I'm going to do is put this one over here, work image. What I'm going to do is fix out the height. Let's say I'm going to type in 500. Okay, perfectly settled. Next one I'm going to do select on this work image. What I'm going to do is to the last one right over here. You can see this is how it looks like. I'm going to do is fix out the heights even though the width is perfect. I'm going to do is type in 500. You can see now it has been perfectly placed and looks quite perfect. Now I'm going to do is going to be keeping or changing these ones. Let's say I'm going to do select on this. This is not graphic design. Let's say blueprint. Sketch. Then we have is this one. Let's say fixing work basis. Then I'm going to do is this one. Good mentor. The last one is going to be teamwork. As we're good to go. Now, as we're good to go, what we're going to do is going to be my experience, Webflow, all of them are quite the same. Now, this is going to be right over here. But the last thing we're going to need is going to be links. Okay, we're going to put in nav links. I'm going to click on this option, click on elements, and add in a section. In the section, there are going to be only links. Okay, so I'm going to click on this plus option. I'm going to put in Facebook and also Twitter. Okay. First off, instead of Facebook, let's put in links. Just remove them. Or also remove this. I'm going to put in links. Let's say I'm going to try it right over here. Maybe something as a nav bar, but as Twitter, or maybe whichever one you prefer. What I'm going to do is, first off, let's try in links. What I'm going to do is put up this text link. The text link should be over here. What I'm going to do is drag it up right at the top. So I'm going to click on Navigator. I'm going to find out the text link wherever it is. You can see this link. I'm going to do is take this to Navigator right over here, navigation. What I'm going to do is type in this link. I'm going to put in, let's say, first I'm going to click on plus again. And here I'm going to be putting in, let's say, something as Twitter. Twitter, I'm going to do is share URL. Okay, I'm going to do is put in something, let's say webflow.com. So we have our Twitter. I'm going to click on plus again, and I'm going to add in Facebook. I'm going to take this Facebook also at the top. So I'm going to do is take this Facebook option. Or maybe Facebook together as Twitter. Click on settings. click on box, which I need, button. I'm gonna do is width to be something like this. I'm gonna put in my Facebook link, www.facebook.com. I'm gonna click on settings. Let's type in 500. Now it works, right? Now, as we're done, we're gonna view it all from all angles and all, different, let's say, previews. This is basically how it works. If you feel like you have more creativity and you can make it a lot more better, so that's like totally up to you how you're gonna work with it. Make sure to put this, okay? If you want to put your component, just click on this component section, which you have over here, and then you'll be able to add in component. You can see footer, contact, and navigation. You can put in more components if you want to. You can search up your components and edit them up according to your desire. So that's like totally up to you. So hope you understood everything about this lesson and about this project on how you'll be able to make this portfolio website. Okay. So let's just get a preview. Click on preview. You can see Twitter. You can see when I click on this, it will take me directly to twitter.com. And when I click on, let's say I'm going to go off over here again, I'm going to click on preview and you can see this Facebook. So I'm going to do is click on this Facebook. I'm going to click on box. I'm going to click on settings and make it visible. Let's type in something over here, which will work as a link. Click on over here. Do is put in, let's say, text link. Facebook. I'm going to go off the settings and then put in the URL. www.facebook.com. We're good to go. I'm going to do is click on preview. When you click on Facebook, it will take you directly to Facebook. When you click on Twitter, it will take you directly to Twitter. So this is basically how it works. So hope you understood everything. If you're, facing some hassles, please let us know. And after you're done with it, please make sure to, show us, or maybe, just let us know that you're done with it. And thank you for watching this video up till the end of this course. And thank you for staying with us up till the end. Welcome to our class project 1. In this project, we are going to learn about the Webflow Essential by starting Webflow Brief. Well, what is a Webflow Brief? A Webflow or a web design, or also known as a Webflow Brief, is a tool as well as a hosting platform and CMS all in one. While you are probably familiar with all of these, they are usually entirely separated tools. Webflow Brief is similar to WordPress in that it offers content management and website building, let's say, tools. And the Webflow Brief is basically an in-browser design tool that gives you the power to design, build, and launch responsive websites visually. Okay, so in this project, what we're going to do is follow a couple of steps. First thing, what we're going to do is open up any web browser such as Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Opera, and all of those. And what we're going to do is search for www.randomprojectgenerator.com. And after that, we're going to generate a random brief by selecting Webflow, because there are other briefings which this site offers, such as other ones. We're going to go through them step by step and show you how it actually functions. Then what we're going to do is open up Webflow and make a brief, a new site using the brief generated using random generator using infos. So what we're going to do is take all the info the random generator project has generated and use all of the infos to fill up the criteria. And at the end of this, you're going to submit the website or even your site on our project panel. Okay, so the overview of it is to be able to begin the basics of Webflow, briefing, and starting a website. So if you've seen all of our lessons from the 1st to the last, you already know all about the basics. So now we're going to go through step by step and using all of the infos and all of the basics to make up a new website. So without any further ado, let's just jump into this class project. As you can see that we have opened up Google Chrome, but you can use whichever browser you have, even Safari. Now the first thing we're going to do is going to be, let's say, search up for random project generator. Random project generator.com. Hit on enter, or you can also search for random project generator. It's going to take you directly to this site, or you can select it one. As you can see, just like I told you, select Webflow. You can see that there are different project types which random project generator offers. These are Webflow Essential, Lightroom Essential, Figma Advanced, Illustrator Essential, UI UX, and also Adobe XD. Now I'm going to do is select Webflow Essential. Now you can name any of the current town, city, or whichever it is. Okay, it doesn't have to be your specific place because this is just a project, and obviously we don't want to know about which country or which town or city you are on. So let's say I'm just going to type in London, and what you're going to do is click on this generate my project. It's going to take a bit of a time, and after a while you will see this is how this project generator has been done. Now what you're going to do is do not hit on this retry because it's not going to give you a specific or a better project later on. But so I'm going to suggest you to use or download this as PNG. So first off, what you're going to do is download as PNG, and it's going to download it up. You can see sometimes there is this server error, but don't worry because this project has already been generated. And the next thing what you're going to do is use this project or use this generated project or a brief to make up your own site, which is going to be London Horse Riding Club. The first thing I'm going to do is going to be opening up a newer tab. Now in the new tab, I'm going to search for Webflow. And in the Webflow, I'm going to open up this webflow.com and then log up. If you are not logged in, I've also showed you the lesson how to log in Webflow. See that video and then you'll be able to log in this site. Now the first thing I'm going to do is click on dashboard, and if you already have projects or already have sites done, so first thing you're going to do is ignore them. What you're going to do is click on new site. Now in the new site you will see something like this if you already have two of that started. So first thing I'm going to do is click on dashboard or get back and then remove one of it if you already have two of them. That is the free plan of it. So I'm going to do is remove one of it. So I'm going to click on delete forever. You're going to confirm it. You can see confirm by typing this one. Control C, Control V, and delete forever. Okay, so as this is deleted, now I'm going to do is click on this new site and then you'll be able to make up another one. So I'm going to do is select, and we're going to change this into something else. So first thing I'm going to do is London Horse Riding Club. So I'm going to do is press on Control V, click on create a new site, and you will see the Webflow will make up a new site with the designated name which you applied. Now you can see our panel or our interface has opened up. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is going to be make up the headings and all of these datas and take it up and make up a site. Okay, so the first thing what we need to do is going to be London Horse Riding Club. So I'm going to copy this again and make up a layout first. So the first layout is going to be features. Okay, as this is a features type of, let's say, a site, or maybe take this pricing. First thing I'm going to do is going to be, let's say I'm going to go down and find out the exact one. Okay, we can use whichever one we want. So I'm going to do is either use this or maybe whichever one you prefer. So I'm going to do is search on Navigator or navigation. You can use them, or you can also use footers according to your desire. So first thing I'm going to do is click on elements, and then I'm going to click on layouts. You will be able to use any one of them. but if you don't find your specific one, just click on add and you will find a lot more than those. So I'm gonna do is going to be clicking on this one. Okay, you can see your title copy goes here. So I'm gonna do is remove it and paste it. London Horse Riding Club. I'm gonna go off to this generator again. You've been asked to design one page website for the London Horse Riding Club. So we only need one page. They need a simple website to post their upcoming events, past events, and sponsors. So first thing I'm gonna do is going to be removing this one too. This, I'm gonna type in this is a website to, let's say what it is, to post upcoming events and sponsors. Control C. To post upcoming events, past events, and sponsors. Now we have this get started button. So the horse riding club ideal customer is a man called Elias. So next thing I'm going to do is going to be get started. But here I'm going to add in another section. So I'm going to do is add on plus, click on elements, and add in another section. In this section, what we're going to do is add in a component. So as we add in our component, name of the person who, let's say who, what it is a customer. Press on create. Now we have our component. We're going to make it visible most of the time. Now I'm going to click on this plus again, and we're going to find out for list or maybe even heading or maybe text link, whichever one you prefer. So I'm going to do is text block. I'm going to do is going to be Control Z, and then I'm going to do is cut this off, and to make it a bit more better, we're going to put in a button or maybe a div block or maybe a list item. So that's like totally up to you how you're going to work with it. So first thing first, I'm going to do is going to be adding in, let's say we're going to work with our Facebook. So when I click on Facebook, I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this URL. We don't need it basically. So I'm going to go off the show all settings, which is on this right side. We're going to make it visible. And here, let's say we're going to put in the name of Elias. Okay. Elias. Enter. I'm going to do is click on settings. I'm going to put in the height of box button. We can put it like this. But if you don't want Facebook, what you're going to do is Control Z to remove it and put in the specific person's name. Just the name, nothing else. Okay. Then I'm going to put on add elements. Then I'm going to put in heading. So I'm going to do is put the heading inside. If it doesn't work, remove this part and put in the heading. So I'm going to put in Elias. Okay, and Elias, what we're going to do is going to be going on style and keep it quite at the center. Line center, Elias. You can put in photos if you want to of that specific person called Elias, which is going to make your site a lot more better. Let's say what we're going to do is our, let's say, loyal customer since 1992. Okay, I'm going to do select all of it. And what I'm going to do is do it like this. Okay. Now what we're going to do is going to be adding in another element over here. Click on plus. We're going to add in a photo, which is going to be, let's say, click on this file upload or maybe an image. We can put it right over here. So now I'm going to do is going to be taking in this over here. What I'm going to do is take this. I'm going to do is decrease the size. Let's say I'm going to type in 2. Okay. Now the image size should be 2. But first things first, we're going to need a photo. So first thing I'm going to do is going to be go on assets and then drop your file over here. So as we've opened up another one, I removed all of the ones which we used in our lessons of Webflow. So I'm going to do is drop a file over here of Elias. So first things first, I'm going to open up my file and then drop it down over here. You can see it right over here. I'm going to do is drop this photo right over here. It will take a bit of a time to upload that photo right over here. Then what we're going to do is going to be putting up that exact photo and drag it up right over here. Okay, so we're just going to drop it down. Or you can also select on add photo or click on, let's say, apply photo, so that, or select photo. Okay, so I'm gonna do is drag it down and drop it over here. If it still doesn't work, click on the settings and choose image. You have this asset over here, select the exact photo, and then you're good to go. Okay, it will take a bit of a time to upload that photo. Okay, so wait for a bit and then you have it. So now I'm gonna do is type in 20. You can see it is like this. I'm gonna type in 70, hit on enter. Right over here inside of this, our loyal customer since 1992 is alias. So I'm gonna do is click on this and take it to the right side. What we're gonna do is going to be click on this heading, click on settings. I'm gonna do is put in a bit of border. So first things first, I'm gonna do is go down a bit, fix out the radius. I'm gonna do is click on this, and then I'm gonna do is fix out the styles. Okay, I'm gonna do is take in the blending option if you want to, but if you don't want to, it's totally fine. You can also click on the settings option, and then you'll be able to apply the text or alt text. Use alt text, custom description. Okay, we're gonna do is take out this, Control C or Control X, and make it to be the alt text. Control V. Applied, then we're good to go. Okay, this alias has now been applied. Okay, now the next thing we have is this alias is their late 20s. They live locally and need a quick way to see upcoming events without contacting the club organizers directly. So obviously we need location, the events, and all of them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is going to be clicking on over here, and then we need these social ones. Okay, let's say first off we need is a form block if you want to. You can also put a drop down if you want to. First thing I'm going to put is the map. So here is the map option. Then we're going to go off to Google Maps. Hit on enter, googlemaps.com or Google Maps. Okay, just open it up and select whichever area you want to use. Then select any of this area and then select whichever place you want to use. Let's say I'm going to do is take this area. What you're going to do is click on share, copy the link, and then take it directly over here, and then put in the API key, which you will be able to use if you are using premium or even using this. Okay, you'll be able to use it according to desire, but you have to be connected. I'm going to do is press on this Google Map API key and try again. Put in your API key, JavaScript, and then you'll be able to put it up however you want. Okay, we're going to go back, and that is going to be our map location. And then we're going to do is going to be putting in our phone number, our social media. So what we're going to do is click on this, and then we're going to do is going to be click on CMS collection if you want to. But if you don't want to, what you can do is, let's say I'm going to first off make this Facebook or Twitter. First I'm going to do is get this Twitter handle. I'm going to do is make this to be follow or maybe tweet. Get the user or webflow.com share URL. Text tweet is going to be, this is the official page of Horse Riding Club. Make it to be show, regular, and then you're good to go. Okay, this is the Twitter and also the map. If you need number, you're going to click on elements again and put in the phone number. Let's say we're going to go through a couple of them to find out the exact one we need. So I'm going to do is going to be, let's say I'm going to go down. You can use input. And when you put input, you need a place in a form. So I'm going to click on this and apply in a form first. So I'm going to do is form block. You can see form block has been applied. Now email or maybe whatever you want. Action, get, or post, like show all settings, and then put in your email. Let's say the email form should be Horse Riding Club @gmail.com. See, you can submit it and then you will get it. Okay, Google app like Google Map. Then we have our Twitter, and then we have our name and email address to submit. And then if you want to put in your phone number, you can just find in a section to put in your phone number. Let's say I'm going to do this plus. I'm going to type in this plus again and add in a paragraph. I'm going to do is take all of this section, remove it, and I'm going to type in whichever number you want to use. And that is the phone number they're going to call in. So hope you understood everything about this. After you're done with this section, if you want to make your website or web page a lot more interesting, you can do that. But I've shown you the exact method of how you'll be able to make a brief or make a project or a website using the briefs by generated or a generating site and make it up according to how it wants it to be. Okay, so after you're done with this whole project or this site, make sure to upload this. Just click on share and copy the link and post it on our, let's say, project panel. Or if it is becoming a hassle, what you're gonna do is take in a screenshot and post it on our project panel. So hope you understood everything, and thank you for watching this video up till the end. Now let's move on to our class project 2. Welcome to class project 2. In this project, we are going to learn about Webflow Essential, how to overlay images, use it as a background, and customize it according to your desire. So there are a couple of steps which you have to follow to do this. First things first, we're going to open up any web browser which you have on your device, go to Webflow and make a new site. Then what we're going to do is going to be selecting a layout for your brief or for your site. Then we're going to select asset and upload a photo from your device or from the web. Then add in a small photo to use as an attraction. We're going to go through them one by one. And then open up Styles panel and find Background section. Apply a photo and start customizing it. At the end of this project, take a screenshot of all 4 device previews and upload it to our project panel. So the project overview is how to use photos as background and customize it according to one's desire. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson or jump into this project where we're going to do all the steps, and at the end, just upload it to our project panel so that we will be able to see it. And if you face any problems, please let us know and we will guide you through the whole process. Now, as we're back to Google Chrome, first thing I'm going to do is going to be searching for Webflow. Now I'm going to click on webflow.com and log up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is going to be making in a new site. Click on new site and then I'm going to make one. So let's say I'm going to start off by clicking on business starter because this is what I need right now, or maybe even the store starter. So I'm going to click on select and make it up. Let's say this is going to be the same one, horse riding club, or maybe fruit. Okay, let's say fresh fruit club. Fresh fruit club. Click on create site. It will take a while for your site to be made by Webflow, so you don't have to worry that much. Just wait a bit and the domain will be made in Webflow. Okay, so the next thing what we're gonna do is going to be following the same steps which I said as it opened up. So first thing you have to keep in mind that there are 4 of these devices which you can use. You can see this is the store, this is our photo where we're gonna put, and this is all of our text. So the first thing I'm gonna do is click on assets and upload any of our photo which we want to use. If you want to upload anyone, just click on upload and you can see these photos. So if you don't have any photos, well, you can go off to apps and then find an app. Okay, so I'm gonna do is, as we've searched in an app, I'm gonna do is search for, let's say, I'm gonna click on content management and design, view all, and then I'm gonna search for free. And then I'm gonna use this Unsplash, okay, which is totally free. So I'm going to do is click on this. I'm going to do is add to site. You can also do that. It's like totally up to you. Then you're going to download that photo if you want to. I'm going to do is just click on add to site. Sometimes it's going to just authorize or like add to site, just tell you to authorize that for your, let's say, your account or maybe on your website or your web browser, but sometimes it's not going to. So what you're going to do is go through a couple websites to download your photo, or if you already have your photo, just upload it directly over here. Then we're going to go to asset, and then I'm going to do is click on upload, and I'm going to select any one of them. But first thing you have to keep in mind, it's better if you have your photo to be a bit darker. So I'm going to do is going to be just, I'm going to upload this, but whichever one you prefer. You can see it is more than 4 MB, so it's not going to be uploaded. So I'm going to do is take, let's say I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to open it up, and you can see that it is now being uploaded. So as this is being uploaded, the next thing we're going to do is open up our styles panel, which you can see right over here. Now, as we have our styles panel, we're going to search for our background section. So we're going to go down a bit and find out our background section. So when we go down, and now you can see that we have our backgrounds section. Now the first thing I'm going to do is going to be clicking on image and gradient. So I'm going to first off select this intro header. Then I'm going to do is click on background. So I'm going to do is go up background. I'm going to do is remove it. And then I'm going to do is click on image and gradient. Click on this plus and choose in an image. Choose an image, select on this, and that will take a while to be uploaded. Okay, and after it will be uploaded, you will basically see that it is being uploaded on your web browser or your website. Okay, so we're gonna wait a bit so that it is being uploaded right now. So let's just wait until it is being uploaded, and then the first thing we're gonna do is add in a small photo for attraction. So build your own dreams and stores, right? So as you can see, the photo has been applied on this intro header. Eventually, I'm going to do is going to be selecting on the middle so that we get the photo of the, the photo which we added on over here. So we're going to wait a bit. Okay, so this is basically the position of the photo which you uploaded. So this is the left top corner, the center top, and also the right top corner. So we're going to wait a bit until it is being rendered on your website. Okay, so now you can see it looks a lot more better than how it was on the first one. So this is your space, talk about business, your product. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to be in this space, I'm going to do is add in another photo for attraction. So I'm going to do is take these, okay? We're going to add in 3 photos over here. So I'm going to do is click on this. I'm going to do is remove it or apply. First off, I'm going to do is remove. As you can see, all of them are removed. I'm going to click on add image, choose image. Now you can see whichever one you want. First, I'm going to do is upload it. As you can see that I have 2-3 of these. I'm going to do is upload this and press on open. It's going to take a bit of time so that it is being uploaded, and it will take a bit of time so that it is being applied directly to our, let's say, on our site, as this is a visual site. So it's going to take a bit of a time to render all of the process. And you can see that in this over here of called audits, you can see skipped heading level. So we're going to do that to you. Okay, so we're going to do all of the things which it says. Okay, so skipped header level. So I'm going to click on this. You can see ordered headings help visitors understand the page structure and improve the page navigation. Head 3. So I'm going to click on this, and we're going to do is going to be clicking on heading 3, or maybe even change it up. So I'm going to do is take this up, go off the styles. What I'm going to do is take this. I'm going to go to settings if possible, but if it's not, I'm going to do is cut this off. I'm going to do is cut this and go to settings and change it to H6 or H1. Okay, now you can see in the audits, there is no mistakes or no issues found. So we're going to wait until it is being uploaded. So I'm going to go off to this. You can see it has been applied. I'm going to do is take this, choose the image that is being applied, so you don't have to worry. Image like wrap. So I'm going to do is take this up. I'm going to do is select whichever one you want, choose or whichever one. So I'm going to do is take this up and remove it. First off, remove. Then I'm going to do is add in an element if it doesn't work. But if it works, you're going to keep it just the way it is. Okay. Then I'm going to do is going to be selecting on each and every one of them. Double click. Then I'm going to do is go off the background. You can see over here. Now it is not being shown. So this is now hide and this is like hidden. So we're going to wait a bit of time for it to be visible on our product image wrap. Okay. Now, after waiting a while, you can see that this photos has been applied. As that was a horizontal photo, you can see that it has been applied over here. So now what we're going to do is going to be reduce the size a bit, and we're going to see how this website looks. Now I'm going to do is zoom in and go off to each of these type of sites. You can see how it basically looks. I'm going to do is go off to over here. Awesomeness. Okay. Featured products. This is how it looks. And this is how it looks on your phone. See? This is basically how it works. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all of those. So what you're going to do is going to be take a screenshot of all 4 of these devices of all PXS. And then what you're going to do is just paste it or just give it or upload it to our project panel. But if you are facing any problems, please let us know and we will guide you through the whole process. So without any further ado, just try making your own sites and try making or building your own sites of different type of websites and customize it according to your desire. So after you practice all of this, you will know how making a website or customizing a website is. And if you know the basics, you can also go for the advanced ones. And if you're going to see this audits most of the time, you can see missing alt text where it is. Just click on the one, click on the photos which you are using. Then you're going to do is just click on them and you're going to go to the settings or styles. And then you're going to find out the alt text. What you're going to do is custom. Then I'm going to do is GGS. Hit on enter. And then we have all of them done without any issues. Okay. So thank you for watching this video up till the end. And let's move on to our projects where we're going to learn about how we can customize or make our specific type of websites according to your desire.